bit in this
We're
at
not
all.
bitten. This is reality chaos.
Damn.
And we don't even know if we're live. Are we live? Can they see us?
Ladies and gentlemen, if we're live, you have to tell us. I know we are starting late. There was a mix-up on scheduling. I apologize, and I just want to know if we're live before I kick off the. You're live.
Awesome Ryan is
We're
awesome.
Fucking live.
Gonna do it live. Are they ready? Are they even ready?
We're doing it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on intermittent fasting right now.
Oh,
I don't
no.
have to eat. I don't get to eat for another 12 minutes, so I'm gonna have a real Biden energy while he has a Trump energy.
Okay.
And it's going to be really great stream
Am I just
today.
overtly racist?
No. Hey.
Oh, okay. What is Trump
Hey,
energy?
we don't
if
want
not-
to. We're definitely attracting Trumpers from all our boys' reactions. so
Clearly, they
please.
know where we stand on things.
Please, Coy, please. This is going to be a great stream. We haven't done a live stream in a long time, it
No.
feels like. And we were just having our weekends be so busy that I wanted to make sure that we ended off this month with having at least one last stream. And hopefully one day we can actually make it a regular thing.
Consistently.
Because goddamn, are we failing
Maybe
at that?
maybe not Saturdays. Maybe we learn Saturdays not the day.
We need to figure this out. And
'Cause,
thank you.
that's the thing.
And last time I wasn't here, but I saw you guys gave like massive contributions to Coy and John during the live stream. So thank you guys so much. And I saw already that we already got a couple of super chats in here. One from Christian Unpronounceable, and I think there's a way where I can. I don't know. I can't. I'll figure it out. There's someone else who gave it. So thank you guys. And so what we like to do here, if this is your first time here, is that we like to go through some of the stories that we want to cover first. And then, of course, we will go through all of your guys' super chats and Streamlabs especially. It really helps to support the channel. I'm excited, Coy. I think this is going to be a fun
lot of
time.
news, like a whole month worth.
Whole month of news. Thank you to everyone who's in here. Okay, so Coy, what is the first piece of news that you want to cover today? While I try to pull up a photo because I didn't prepare in advance of the story that you most want to talk about.
I actually, the newest trailer for Deadpool Wolverine, I accidentally watched because I thought it was an old trailer, and I think I want to discuss a certain cameo. But if you guys haven't seen the newest trailer,
they spoiled it themselves, but it's
dope though.
Okay,
It's so cool.
because we got to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. We got to talk about Superman forcing Coy to do it.
Yep.
It's not his personal channel,
Nope.
So I can force him to do whatever I want.
He put it in the thumbnail.
I whip him around
like,
here.
This is
I
the
don't,
show.
I don't care what you say on Twitter, Coy.
Yeah.
I want to talk
I
about
call
those
him Mr.
Superman
CEO.
photos.
I say CEO Greg. It's his full
I'm
title.
gonna ruin your
He's
reputation
like,
here.
well, as long as it's on this channel.
and then, of course, Kevin Feige was talking about Fantastic Four. Those are the main news stories we want to get through.
Yeah, a lot of Kevin Feige quotes, doing a podcast over at Marvel that is actually much more like a show I pitched to Marvel years ago than I would have liked. But I'm really excited.
Boo-hoo.
I would like to make that money, Greg.
Oh, boo.
I would
It's
like to
always
make that
about
money.
with you.
I want to buy a house.
Who doesn't want money?
Yeah, I mean, what are you talking about? So that's the Trump energy.
Thanks
I'm
for the
bringing.
super chats,
I want to
guys.
bring in the I want money energy. Yes, I'd like to not be on the internet as much. Give me your money.
So we're going to talk about the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer that just came out. So, Coy, what do you want to say about this?
I am elated to see in 1 minute trailer Tyler Mane get to speak more than he did in the entire X-Men trilogy. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for Sabretooth. It is literally a fight that we have waited 20 years for. I love how he looks. I love that the Deadpool eye line
but
is...
people say that, but we got the fight.
Yeah, but it wasn't great.
It was on top of the Statue of Liberty.
It was
America.
40 seconds, and then he jumped up, and they did the spin around and dropped off the thing.
And you know what? It was the coolest shit back
then.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, it's the rematch we've waited for because
Oh.
they've teased like this return and Deadpool being our eye line of like we've waited 20 years to see these guys fight in a real way where it's not a team dynamic.
That's fair. Okay, real quick. Star-Lord James Stevens, thank you for the super chats. We will make sure to get to you. Coy, continue your talking.
So I'm excited for this because Taylor Mane, I think, never got the credit he deserved at looking awesome as this character, but I also think he can like carry the weight of it. He's done a lot more since then. He also just followed me on Instagram, which excited me because now I'm like, ooh, the director and the Sabretooth. I'm gathering my
Taylor
Deadpool
Mane followed you?
on Instagram.
No, Tyler Mane, I mean?
Tyler Mane, yeah.
That's really cool,
and Sean
man.
Levy followed me 2 weeks ago.
Oh, my God.
Sean Levy only follows 127 people, including Ryan and Rob and Hugh, so I'm like,
Was it
building
an
my Deadpool.
accident?
No, he's kept following me, and he watches all my stories, so I'm
Oh
very
my
scared
God.
to post. I'm very aware that he watches
Dude,
Sean,
you should start posting the Deadpool leaks.
I love that.
I think-
that's the move. No, but I'm gonna do a Deadpool month over on my Instagram and my YouTube page, where I'm gonna do like Deadpool comic recommendations, Ryan Reynolds movie
All
recommendations.
because you're
like, all
kissing
leading-
Sean Levy's ass?
Well, I wanted to anyway, but now.
Okay, dude.
Both kiss
I
his
mean,
ass
you
and
might
do
as well
it.
kiss
I
his
mean,
ass.
it's
He's
fine.
the
It
director of
falls under his
Deadpool
opinion.
Wolverine, man.
But when
Yeah.
Tyler followed me, I was like, wait, how much of the coverage are they watching? So I'm just really excited because I genuinely think him as, I'm not a big wrestling guy, but he's one of the wrestlers I do know, and he carries like an
Sure.
intense energy. So this fight I think is going to be really cool. But what I wanted to say about it was, have you seen the side-by-side comparisons between this trailer and the last trailer?
No.
They had this character in the background in a hood, so you couldn't tell. So
Oh.
that the news to me isn't just that Tyler Mane is Sabretooth. The news is we're getting trailers that are hiding stuff in plain sight. This
Yeah.
character was in the foreground in a hood, and then in the background in a hood, and then they did another take with him revealed. So I think there's going to be CGI hiding of things. I think there's going to be alternate takes. I think we're going to get Hulk in Endgame-esque elements where
Okay.
they're manipulating the trailer. So as exciting as the Tyler Mane and Sabretooth story is, I think even more exciting is we don't know as much about this movie as we usually do a month out. We also might have been misled directly, and scenes we've already seen might literally be hiding like Avengers.
That's cool.
And have you seen the Avengers Anarchy symbol?
No.
So 2 days ago, Ryan Reynolds posted a flag.
Hold
that
on,
was-
Coy. I got to thank Levy and Nick for contributing this. We will get to all the super chats, but thank you
We
guys.
will, promise.
So what is this called? Let me try to pull up a photo.
Avengers Anarchy flag. It's been 2 posts. One of them was a flag.
What is this? Why is this important?
Well, you see the flag right there.
Okay.
I believe this is going to be in the dystopian timeline a la Old Man Logan, which you've recently reread, where we see a failed Days of Future Past-esque Hugh Jackman. In the trailer, we have that TVA agent saying, like, this Wolverine failed his whole people, blah, blah, blah. I think this end-of-time world that we see reflected in Loki leading to Deadpool, there might be, like, a scavenger group of Avengers, like this
Yeah.
crazy broken world.
Yes, that's what
hiding
Coy's
in.
talking
Yeah,
about,
that
guys.
right there. And
I
then
think it's important
today,
to see me
yeah.
respond to Coy instead.
just watch your pensive reacting face.
Hmm.
And then Ryan wore a hat today. He posted that symbol on a hat.
Ryan wore a hat today.
Right, guys, breaking news. Ryan
wore-
hat. But I think it symbolizes maybe a leading into Secret Wars bigger element of Deadpool potentially being an Avenger. I think it could be a whole world of Avengers in this world that Deadpool might join as like, my X-Force died, I've got the Avengers. I think there's
Cool.
something to this because the Kevin Feige hat is how we know what the next thing is. He always wears a hat.
Sure.
I think it'd be cheeky if Ryan's like, I'm running the marketing now, motherfuckers.
Oh,
and
that's
literally
fun.
like has this symbol. Like, what if Ryan is cheekily doing the Kevin Feige?
Yeah.
Because it is very much a Kevin Feige move to wear the hat of like teasing the next thing. So if Sean Levy ends up directing Secret Wars, if Sean Levy does the next Avengers film, what if the Deadpool hat, we are seeing something that's a giant spoiler that is not yet known to be a giant spoiler.
Cool.
So that's the big 2 stories I got out of the stuff that a lot of people aren't talking about yet. I feel like the breadcrumbs are there, and I could be tinfoil hatting, but this could be huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, that was really well done. Is it 12:30 yet? Can I eat? I got 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna crack this.
Well done, Coy. Brian McHenry and Cam Place, thank you for the super chats. We will get to them all. Let me try to change this. All right, Coy. You know what would have been great that when we were starting late is if I pulled up all these Superman
It'd be
photos
so funny.
ahead
The
of
fact
time.
that
But I just didn't bother to do that because I was like, well, we got to mix up in time. I'll just
put a
I'll
giant
just
picture of myself.
keep looking at
what
the
if
clock.
what if I just have my big eyes on the bottom corner?
Look at that. Yeah. There's got to be like a shortcut button to this. Coy, fill the dead air.
Okay,
Fill the fucking dead air,
I've
Coy.
been enjoying your flailing here. I was quite entertained. I was watching what you were doing. So we also got news from Kevin Feige. Or do you want to go into the other news? Do you want to go into the like what I swore not to talk about news? 'Cause I feel like that's where we're going.
I want to go into that. Let me pull up the photos. All right.
All right. So while
So-
you're pulling it up, I'm not going to let there be dead air. Audience, this is the one and only time I'm going to do this, and it's because Greg wants it done. I think that paparazzi are vultures. I think that leaks are. Yes, I got so many messages of people saying, like, they're not leaks, they're filming outside. In what world is people stealing images from an active set not stealing or leaks? Unless they're officially released, that is the definition of a leak. Just because a paparazzi took a photo doesn't mean they want it out. And there's no reality where a photo taken in natural light with actors just walking around is going to look as good as the movie with editing, with color grading, with all of the things gaffers and sound designers everything do. That said, they look fucking amazing. The fact that these look
damn.
so
Look at
good.
the one on the
Dude.
he's got the symbol on the back of his
Yeah.
cape.
And it looks so
Hold
good.
on, I'm pulling it up, guys. Just wait a second.
So my thing is I hate that we've seen these because in my sense of reality, you can never see something for the first time once again. So the fact that we've seen so much that we're going to see again in a movie, it sucks. I wish I hadn't had this much exposure to it. So what I've been trying to do is not share this on social media. I'm not covering it on my personal channel, but here we are, 1.2 million subscribers. Reject Nation wants it. So we're gonna break these down, but against my best wishes.
Yeah.
I'm under duress.
Okay, yeah. You want you're all
Asterisk,
almighty. You're a great guy.
No, I just
alright,
think it's gross.
Yeah, you're bigger than me.
You ever dealt with paparazzi? They're the worst people.
I'm not fortunate enough to deal with
dude,
them.
if I could take out an entire group of people, that's how I'm like Trump. I would take out that group.
I
of
would
people.
love to finally get some attention, the attention I deserve.
Just think violence is the answer sometimes, and paparazzi deserve it. They've got a lens. Anyway, let's talk about these photos that got
I'm trying to pull it up. It's not coming in the frame.
because there's nothing worse than people trying to ruin things for others.
I'm trying to pull it up, guys. I'm trying to pull it up. Okay, hold on a second.
Like, it's eat
I
o'clock.
can eat
Now
time.
Greg's gonna be ready to pull up photos. It's just been a little.
You see me clicking the button to say yes, we'll want the photo, but it's not doing it. Hold on, I don't know
Mr.
what's
Terrific
happening.
looks amazing. Like Mr. Terrific is probably my most exciting.
We haven't
element of
discussed the
this.
suit photos yet. I'm trying to discuss the
He's
suit
trying.
photos.
Things.
All right, we gotta go.
happening.
We gotta go like super old school here. We gotta like make us smaller and then
you
use.
can make a little
For,
folder.
the OBS is not cooperating
all
here.
right, all right,
Okay. Oh God, I can't wait to eat.
all right. Whenever this happens, what do you want to talk about? Anything else here?
No, Coy.
Is it time?
No, I just don't know why the photos are not actually appearing. You see me clicking it, right?
Yeah,
If
I
say-
see the
it's saying,
buttons
do you
happening.
want to show
would
the
like to
photo?
show
And
the
it's not.
photos.
It's,
It's just
not.
us.
It's not
We got our
letting us
little
show the
legs.
photo.
See, the universe is on my side. Even OBS is like paparazzi photos are gross.
Oh
Even
my God.
OBS is like, what a waste of a way to
we'll
reveal
just get
these.
we'll get a bunch of Greg
There
crotch
we go. There it
shots.
is. People are very excited with your workout regimen. You're doing the work.
Yeah.
Bring the crotch photos.
Doing what I can. All right, look. This is the best I can do right now. I know it's not great. I'm trying, guys.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Those sound
Cool.
nice.
Try to talk about these photos.
Okay, so on the right, you've got Mr. Terrific, who is very screen accurate. This
He's
is one
a
of the
smart guy.
He's the smartest man in the universe, and
He did show up in the Arrowverse.
he did, and
Yeah.
it was decent. Like I think they did a decent job adapting, especially for their budget and story restraints. I love Mr. Terrific. I think Mr. Terrific, especially as written by Tom King in the Strange Adventure storyline, is amazing. I think Mr. Terrific's costume here is so screen accurate and perfect. I think Eddie Gathagi is one of those actors that is a 20-year overnight success. He's not like Aldous Hodge, who's a 10-year overnight success. I feel like everyone should know Eddie Gathagi, and I'm really excited for him to be a household name after this. He was Darwin in X-Men First Class, one of the worst things that's ever... Like, I love X-Men First Class. I consider it the most X-Men movie because Bryan Singer made a lot of mutant movies. Darwin is the exception. That's my big asterisk. So if they knew what they were doing with X-Men, except Darwin. And I'm really excited for him to get another chance at something like this. Full disclosure, every time I've spoken with Eddie, he has been one of the biggest nerds I've ever known. Like, he is such a devout comic book person, so a lot of this is my own personal excitement for knowing how much he's honored to be in this screen-accurate costume, working with James Gunn, who's going to do his best. I think this is the best-case scenario for Mr. Terrific. And then on our left, we've got David Corn Sweat as Superman. It's really ironic that the candids that I don't want to be sharing look, I think, even better than the official still that I was willing to cover. I think this is Superman. I think the color is perfect. I think the way the cape falls, I actually personally love the color. This is a mix of the Kingdom Come suit, the new 52 Jim Lee suit, with a little bit of the old Fletcher suit, which is the animated series that used the yellow line work around the actual crest. I really appreciate that the crest actually looks like a symbol instead of just an S. I think it's really funny when the Superman S, like when the Times New Roman S stands for hope, that's dumb as shit to me. Whereas when it looks like a symbol, like an alien imagery like this does, I think that's much more interesting to the Kryptonian heritage than, like, for some reason they type with a typewriter. This to me is the Superman suit. The line work and piping I think is going to look great in motion. I do think it's got a little bit of bagginess to it because the All-Star Superman and because
I've
I
seen
think
complaints about that.
that's my only slight complaint personally, is that I'm so used to skin tight suits that the bagginess looks different, but I want to see it in motion, which is why I hate these photos exist, because I think that in motion it's going to really sing. I think if you look at,
But they look better than the one that came out that James Gunn released.
they totally do. I don't disagree. I just think that if you're going to enjoy a gourmet meal, you shouldn't see the pig get slaughtered. So I don't think we should see things.
Yeah,
in
you
motion.
don't want to like feel guilty
I just want to eat.
about your gourmet meal and see the life that you are taking.
And we're seeing these workers make something that we're going to see the final product of in a year and a half, and we're seeing the slaughter. So I think it's gross.
I love the trunks, Coy.
Oh, the trunks.
We got to get a photo with the trunks in here so
I'm
I can
a
show
trunk
it.
man. I'm team trunks. I think they look great. I think
I
those
just did
look...
not prepare this stream well today.
Luckily, I can just talk for hours, Greg.
Yeah, I know you
I
can.
think the way the cape falls is really like an engineering feat. I know that sounds dumb, but it's really hard to make a cape look good in stills that are candid. Like, a paparazzi photo looking like Superman just exists and walks around is insane. If you actually consider how impossible it is that this cape falls like that in day-to-day life, crazy. The trunks, immaculate. I love the belt. I love the style. I think this is the best Superman suit we've had. Because if you look at the old Christopher Reeve one, that is obviously the iconic one, and it makes it feel like Christopher Reeve was just Superman walking around. But in modern society, if you just have like spandex on, it looks like dudes in Target pajamas. Like, you need texture with HD cameras. I think that we need to evolve that. It is a little stylized for me. I think it's got a little extra piping than I would have done. But again, I haven't seen it in motion yet. And the bagginess, I'm going to just have to get used to because we've had 20 years of spandex post X-Men. Like,
Do you think
15
they'd
years.
fix that in post?
I think the suit is meant to be he's more of a day-to-day guy, not like I'm proud of my body. I think it's more like a the photo, the official photo, to me, I kept thinking like another day at the office. Like, it felt very like I'm a guy that works. This feels more like a plumber or a electrician. Like, it feels like a workman suit.
Yeah, because a lot of times they have these like body suits where they like have defined 8-packs on them, which is not their real 8-pack. It's
Right,
just
they work out and then they
8-pack.
add.
yeah. So
To me, this is probably a Kryptonian, like, this is what they wear day to day. Which, if a society had this suit, which is the canon story, that this is something they had, why would everyone be like, I must be peak?
Yeah.
To me, he is peak underneath, but he doesn't need to show it all the time. It's confidence.
I love this
Cape,
right
dude.
here.
Yes, that's Superman.
Why are you stopping talking?
I thought it was your turn.
I don't want to talk.
Oh,
Cole.
God.
I haven't had my shake.
Oh, it needs the shake's right
I
there.
am so hungry.
I do agree. This is why I love the collar.
Oh, yes, thank God.
This shot right here of the cape is why I love the collar. I think that little extra really makes it feel more like someone would wear a cape versus like, he's got a cape in drawings. Like, this looks like a costume. This looks like a suit. This looks like a complete image. It looks like Superman, man.
Now, the question is, do you like it more than the Henry Cavill suit?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's a lot. Obviously, that's going to be the biggest thing. That
Yeah, I
people
mean,
are
that's the
gonna be
most
comparing
recent.
to. I thought the Cavill suit was pretty dope.
I thought the Cavill suit was a really good. Okay, so the Cavill suit reveal image is really interesting because it does kind of show the aggressive side of Superman. Like, the Superman we had in the Cavill universe was a bit more like figuring out who he is with a side of anger, and I think that the suit represented that. I think they're going for the more vibrant Boy Scout. He's definitely like a dude from Kansas. He looks like a Midwest milk-fed boy. So I personally think this is it. Someone in the comments said
I just feel like the trunks should be a little bit tighter.
I think they look more like trunks than underwear because they're looser. Also, if they were tight and everything else was loose, that'd be weird.
I know, but you got to bring out that bulge.
I mean,
man.
that's
Come
the workout. We got it.
on,
That dude is
dude.
6'4", and hopefully, for Lois's sake,
You
the
got to
ratio
bring
is
out
strong.
the bulge.
The super bulge.
Why would you not want the bulge in the Superman suit?
It's? I mean, that's.
If
maybe
you're
some
going to be
shots.
Superman, you want the bulge.
If you want to be Superman, you want the. Bulge.
Why
That's it.
wouldn't you?
I mean, showing off his
Thank
little
you,
Lex
guys. We've
Luthor.
made so many super chats. Really do appreciate it. We will get to all of them. It's all thanks to you, Coy.
I've been talking.
I'm already
Greg.
feeling
I've
bad.
been talking.
Now that I
one
finally
sip,
had some
you're like,
calories,
oh, I can be a person.
I am trying out the intermittent fasting for the last week and a half.
How's
and,
it been?
And the last 2 days, yesterday and today is the first time I've worked out without anything in my system. And I was like, oh, you can get the glucose, work off your glucose and the fat storage, and you can actually get more energy and focus. I'm like, this isn't happening for me.
Takes a bit.
I am more drained.
Yeah, you're tired for like 2 weeks, in my experience.
I'm trying.
I haven't done it in years, but I was tired for weeks.
I love how
and
this
then it
chat is
turned.
just right. This is so good.
Uh,
This is tech disorganized in ways I couldn't imagine. Now, Cavill had the bulge.
Yep.
Cavill had the bulge. Some people talk about the cape flapping. I'm talking about the bulge flapping.
Man's got goals.
We
He's
need
got-
bulge flaps.
Just look in certain places.
It is cool that a lot of times in movies they CGI the capes on.
Yeah,
because they have
this
to.
Looks
I
like,
like
that's what I mean. The engineering of this cape, the weight of it, the way the folds work. This looks like Superman.
And a lot of people are loving the fact that you have Lois Lane in the purple as well. Are there other guys? Tell me really quick. Are there other photos here that are? Oh, there's been there's the one I saw on my Twitter feed today was the what do you call it? The one where he's like arrested. Did you see that one
with Frank?
Yeah, there's like the Frank Grillo one. Oh, this one right here.
I'm so excited that Frank Grillo's in the first 3 DCU properties. He's literally in Creature Commandos as the same character in all 3.
Who's
But
this guy?
a lot of people are saying it's Ultraman. It's not. There's a pretty obscure character that I think he is, but I won't spoil that because that is something I can't control.
Let me pull up the photo here so I can show you. Oh my God, these photos are so like not big.
It's almost like they shouldn't exist.
It's almost like they were shot
like they
so
were
far away,
and far away
that it's hard
that
to get
tiny.
a high quality photo.
Why are these in HD and released by a studio?
Son of a bitch. All right, there's photos of Frank Grillo here.
Frank
and there's
Grillo
some
as
yeah.
Rick Flag Sr., the father of Homeboy's character from the Suicide Squad that died, which makes sense that he's the villain of Peacemaker. And then I also love that he's a government, employee arresting Superman. That gives him a reason to be in the first 3. I feel like they're basically doing for Frank Grillo what Marvel thought they were going to do with Frank Grillo with Crossbones.
Yeah.
He's getting another try in the DCU, and he's in the first 3. So I really dig this because I think Frank Grillo is one of those actors that just elevates things he's in, and he's so much that guy. If you've never seen Kingdom, one of my favorite shows of all time, it's an MMA show. Frank Grillo's amazing in it. And Frank Grillo also really wanted to be everywhere as Crossbones. Like, he fought for it. He advocated for it. So I'm excited for Frank Grillo for, this comeuppance.
I got to say, too, guys, that, oh, here we go. I could at least get a screenshot of this for you guys. And it'll be a little bit bigger than the other ones.
Boss Level's also great.
It is an interesting thing because as much as I kind of give you shit about the leaked photo game, it is really interesting to me that when a lot of superhero movies are like shot on a volume or they're shot in green screen, and people get mad about how they look, and then when they shoot on an actual set outside, like Deadpool and Wolverine and Superman, people start leaking shit and it can diminish some of the experience. I actually think these photos have regenerated hype for people.
Oh, I totally
It's
agree.
won over a lot more people than it was before. I'm not saying it's right or that it's good.
But it is a net benefit.
It is a fascinating thing to ponder, though, that before it's like, oh, I don't like how artificial it looks. And then you go practical, and then it's like, well, this is why people go artificial.
Yeah, and this is why they hide.
Shit. Yeah, exactly.
Because we've seen almost every main character now. We've seen the entire Daily Planet.
We haven't seen Lex, have we?
We've seen the back of his head on this set.
I love back of the head
Yeah,
Lex.
we
What
gotta
does
have
it
a
look
follow.
like?
Oh, there's
Is
scars.
it oak? There's scars?
Yeah, which we.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Yeah, but just people, they find the set, and then you got people making money off this.
That's crazy.
The engineer looks amazing.
Well, that's beautiful, man.
Also,
that shot. I mean, that
there's your bulge.
Actually, that looks way better.
Right, and this is, again, look at
Because it's
something.
also darker lighting, too.
And something in motion, like, look at how well it feels like it fits in movement.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is more of something that would be a suit peoples would wear, not just superheroes. And I think that's important. And I also love that in
That's
motion,
a good point. Like, you could actually dress up as this guy for Halloween.
100%.
Kids, get your bulge, kids.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. But I also think that this character is going to be very different than the I'm just a superhero, I'm above everyone Superman that's been portrayed so often. I think that we want a Superman that is trying to save the people by being amongst them, but also feeling like they have to hide. Also, David Corn Sweat as Clark Kent looks unrecognizable compared to this.
Oh, let's get that
the
photo.
side by side is so
yeah,
impressive.
I really did like that photo a lot.
Also,
because I was like, oh, you really wouldn't. I could see a legit argument where you could not put the two together.
and I haven't seen that since Reeve.
Especially since you can like kind of determine the cadence and the way their body language is more than just their physical appearance. Because
Also, looks like he ate really inflammatory foods. His face is rounder. Like, I think they're going hard. Like, I think he's literally. I think in training he bulked and had a rounder face, and then realized what foods made him look puffy, and is using that because look how round his face. Like, he does not look as chiseled, and he looks like a dude. And then as Superman, he looks like a freaking God.
This is 100% the stream that I should have prepared before.
It's just lots of photos of
Yeah.
leaks that are low res, Greg. These are easy to find and have look fine.
Let me see. Let me check. Look at this Reddit one. Okay, I'll at least get this.
Also, how cool is it we're in this golden age of Superman with this My Adventures of Superman, this people actually talking about the comics. Like, this is really exciting as a Superman fan.
I know.
As a Superman comic fan, for everyone that's mad at it.
You must be semi-conflicted in this moment.
I'm very happy to see these photos. I hate that we're publicly sharing them. Like, that's the thing. I've been enjoying them. I've saved some of these to my phone. I hate that I have them. I hate that we've seen them. I think it's bad, but here we are.
What the hell?
This is very funny.
This is not funny, Coy.
This is the stream that Sean Levy's going to unfollow me over. He's going to be like, leaked photos.
No, we're not going to leak Deadpool Wolverine.
No,
He's
just Superman.
following you.
Just Superman.
No. Until Warner Brothers wants to,
invite me to stuff.
We're only getting paychecks from Disney right now, guys.
Our shill money means we have to share
Yeah,
these on the other side.
yeah.
You
Oh
want
my
us to
God,
be
yeah.
silent, Warner Brothers? You pay for
You
our
pay
silence.
for our silence,
You give us Penguin
and we
Press.
will praise you so much.
You ask Greg how much we've been talking about Penguin nonstop. You send us Penguin access. That's how you silence us.
If I'm at a Warner Brothers connection, and Coy's like insistent about like, yo, we're gonna get Penguin.
gonna get Penguin, Greg.
I'm like, there's like a whole bunch of other bigger.
You know they're making a whole universe of movies. I'm like, but Penguin, Greg. You know I love my boy Colin. You connect me.
Let me try this on this image, and then this will be the last one we try to show, and then maybe, just maybe,
Maybe it'll even work.
maybe it'll work. Because holy crap, this is a pain in the ass. It looks
the tiniest
even tinier.
That's the tiniest. That's literally like it's a thumbnail.
I don't
Guys.
really see much spoilers in these.
It's just the idea that we
Like,
now know.
like the Deadpool and Wolverine ones were like major spoilers that were leaking. Those were huge fucking
I
spoilers.
think honestly, James Gunn learned from that.
And I think that's why they let the Sabretooth photo, the trailer out, because they're trying to take ownership of something bigger that leaked
Well,
about
they
Sabretooth.
hid Sabretooth in the images in the trailer. That's what I find so interesting. It's literally a hooded character in the same spot.
Whatever, we're going for this tiny ass.
Oh,
photo,
look at
guys.
that little
It's the
image.
best I could do. All right, like it's so,
Super. Oh, I can't tell that's Superman.
you really can't tell because up close
it's
Clark
so
Kent
small.
is so small, and he's also really pixelated.
What is this, a Clark Kent France?
I think it looks great. This seems like he's playing two very different people when you see it, and that's the idea to do it. Whereas when it came to, especially with Henry Cavill's,
That's the same
I
guy.
don't
He
know
just
how
put
you
on
can
glasses.
tell different, you know,
So he's Superman glasses. Not
that's
Superman,
one of the
Superman.
but even like the complete difference in hair was not the thing I anticipated.
I love it.
Smart call.
Also, it makes sense when you have long hair. You can make long hair curly. You can make long hair like it does look different, but it's the same haircut.
Yeah,
And I think that's amazing.
he looks like disheveled and stressed here.
Yeah, and he looks like a bumbling Kansas newspaperman. Like he
Oh,
looks like
God.
his body language is different. The slightly ill-fitting suit, so you can't tell how good his physique is.
Yeah.
Also, like the relationship between him and Lois in stills looks like he has more chemistry than we ever got with Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams and I love Henry Cavill. That scene in the bath is one of the most embarrassing scenes in comic book movies of like a lack of chemistry.
I did not think they had much.
They
as
had-
much as I love those.
I feel
films,
like they
actually,
just
I
met.
don't- Yeah, I never thought they actually had great chemistry.
It was. I mean, that's when I felt like he was an alien because it
Yeah.
looked like he'd never had a relationship with a woman.
But guys, look, this is great. I'm glad we got to talk about all these. Now let's stop spoiling the fun for ourselves. Let's get back to business.
Yeah.
I think there's just going to be a giant blankness here because I can't get anything to fucking pull up. It's going to be.
Let's just have a home
let's
screen.
Just, let's just have all
Oh,
this
look,
shit right
is that,
here.
'cause Can you read?
I can't like this is wild that we just got this like giant blank spot. Let me try to readjust the framing here a little bit. Oh damn! I got.
You got doxed.
Someone caught something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got doxed. I'm not going to say what it was, but I seen it. How long that was up.
You can see it.
You guys want to see our levels? They also saw your note.
Damn. Why? Coy, I don't know why this isn't working.
It's funny. It's not, people seem interested.
Let me just try a different photo here.
Okay. Just have a photo up for funsies.
Let me just try a different
A
one.
nice high-res image.
Okay. There we go. Something worked.
Keep that up.
Oh, I think it's because the photos were too small.
They It literally just
They
wouldn't.
were just like, we can't do it, guys.
Oh, that's amazing.
We can't do it, man.
They're too small to be on this screen.
All right, now we got to move on.
All right.
We'll just use this photo so people know in the playback what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about Greg joining the
I think
Fantastic
I did a good
Four.
job on this thumbnail
This
here.
looks great.
Because you see, I was specifically when I was doing this, I was like, I'm gonna match my head movement. He's here already. That's so early.
Let me fill in the dead time. I got us. Like, he's got houseware to do. I mean, this is an important.
You're gonna have to get it for me. I was just going to take this computer. Hold on, guys. The gas company's here.
This is so funny. This stream is. We always
No.
talk about how chaotic our streams are. This is peak.
This is peak chaos.
We've got notes being passed in class.
Give me the
We've got
computer.
adult responsibilities.
This guy was supposed to be here 5 p.m. 5
Correct.
p.m.
You're also
it is
not here at 5 p.m.
12:45 p.m.
You're not here in
He
the
is
evening.
here so early.
That it is like 4
We got
hours
so
early.
many super chats we got to get to.
We got to.
Of course, I make sure the notes are on screen, Zachary Allen.
That's how we.
I
can
have
do
to
our
advise
job.
them if John's leading the
Do you
stream.
want me to? You want to do this? I got us.
Okay, I'm in here. You're just gonna have to figure it
No,
out.
I'm all,
Go
I
to Yahoo.
Do you want me to? I can.
He needs the gas bill.
I know, but do you want to? You want to pull it out? I can do the live chat. I can. Yeah,
you know,
that's-
like,
what I'm saying is I got us.
I just gotta say, you know, like when John's here, he might give well articulated opinions.
Sure.
But he doesn't provide this.
No chaos, not
Right?
the John energy that
You
we
don't-
bring here.
You don't get this when
No,
John's here.
siree. Do you want
You
yes
get
and?
nothing but disorganization.
Yes and with a shrug, we bring that energy. Yes and?
I'm having Roxy run our social medias, and
Does it beat
I
that one
hope-
when Coy was sick?
I
yesterday?
hope when
Nothing
Roxy,
will.
Roxy, I hope you're watching, so that way you have.
You want some clip
I'll
outs?
be back. This is me on commercial break.
Oh, yeah,
photo.
who's coming back? Greg will be back. All right, guys.
Greg, give Coy the spotlight. Coy's had the spotlight the
I
entire
haven't
time.
stopped talking. It hasn't stopped. Okay, guys, I'm going to actually pay attention to the live chat because everyone always complains we don't actually deal with the live chat. This is proof of concept. We are going to get to the super chats when Greg returns. In the meantime, I'm going to be diving into the live chat. So if you have any questions, put them in the live chat, and I'm going to get into as many as I can. But everyone in the super chats, you get a guarantee. We will not leave those without super chats and the live stream with questions being answered. So, good people. I saw a little while ago SDCC. Do we think we have predictions for Phase 6 and 7? Hot take! They should announce nothing we don't already know. I think that the Marvel recalibration should be dealing with basically righting the ship and not announcing stuff until it's more than done. I think Blade is a great example of why we shouldn't announce things that are not buttoned up. I think until there is a film shooting, they shouldn't put a date on the calendar. I think unknown dates are amazing. I think Marvel should have untitled film 2027, but don't have, this insane announcement. I will be going to Comic-Con. I have 4 or 5 panels. I might have 6. We're going to see how that goes. Why are people having superhero fatigue? I think they're having mediocre experience at the movies fatigue, whether that's the movie itself or how uncivilized and fucked up the average moviegoer is. I think that's affecting the experience of movies in general. And with comic movies, there are a lot of them, so you can't make them just a comic movie and hope that people show up because of that. Blade is a mess. I totally agree. What is a movie thing you're excited for that's not superhero related? I'm actually more excited for not superhero stuff more often than people realize because overall I just don't get to talk about that because it doesn't make money. But the one that I do think is going to make a lot of money that I'm excited for is The Wild Robot, which stars Lupita Nyong'o. I think it looks amazing. Saw 20 minutes of it. It made me cry in like 5 minutes, which is insane. I'm very excited for The Wild Robot. Have I seen the clip of Clark Kent walking chaotically? No, I've avoided as much as I can about all of that, except for the ones that are coming across my Twitter feed at all times that I've searched none. Love Koi's Comic Corner, thank you so very much. Favorite part of Boston, Mull's Diner in Southie is probably my most missed thing. It's now part of a hotel, which is a shame, but they didn't get rid of it altogether. They just tore down the building, which is a bummer. Southie used to be triple deckers and just culture, and now it's a little college town, so it's not Southie anymore, but I used to really love Southie. I'm a big fan of Lowell. I love, which is north of Boston. But in Boston itself, Back Bay is gorgeous and like a delight. So I guess now that Southie's not Southie, Back Bay. Wild Robot, 100% excited. How's my day going? I was scheduled to come in at 1:30. This stream was scheduled at noon. It was very confusing. I was setting up to film my own Pages stuff. I'm doing part 3 of my The Bear reaction, as well as my July rollout of what's coming out in movies and theaters. Both those videos are dropping on my page tomorrow. So I had just set up my lights and camera, and Greg was like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean, where am I?" And then chaos. So today, chaos. And then tonight, I'm going to go look at wedding venues. I got engaged 2 weeks ago, so I've got some wedding stuff to deal with. I am having a whole time. Coy, I love how are you one of the only people who realize that this world is so hateful towards art nowadays more than ever. People suck. I think art is not respected. I think art is seen as a flippant thing that people don't realize it takes hundreds of thousands of hours from hundreds of thousands of people to make in the movie side. And any art, even if it's a piece of art, a pencil drawing, is so much of your soul exposed. So I think the problem is the average person that works the average job comes home and puts on a movie in the background and doesn't realize that they're putting on true art. They're just throwing away content. Content isn't art, and we're making more content than art, so art isn't respected.
Oh,
Greg's back!
I pay attention to these. I pay attention. Wow, I come back and it says Greg doesn't need a return. That's the first fucking thing I see. Jesus Christ, this week has been nothing but dogging on Greg.
David Zaslav Alba over here. I talked about Chucky a lot. I made sure that was.
Thanks, I appreciate you, buddy. We got to get to the super chats. We got a lot of super chats, and
I didn't actually.
Really,
but now it's funny because your reaction was like, "Oh shit, that word! You said the C word."
We really do appreciate it. I'm gonna check the Streamlabs too. But yeah, we got. I know we've got a lot. And yeah, did you talk about getting engaged?
I just mentioned.
I was there.
Greg literally dressed.
Let me see if I can.
While we're on chaos
let me see if
mode,
I can airdrop the photo.
Dude, it is so good.
Where's my photo? So
Joe
I was
hell yeah.
up close and personal to record it, and she couldn't tell it was me.
Okay,
because
she
I
knows
got it.
Greg. They've met. Like, Greg's one of my best friends outside of this little room. So, like, they've met enough in real life. I was like, Greg, man, don't risk it. Like, please, I want video, but I'm really worried that, you know, she'll know because it's you. And then Greg shows up. I don't recognize him. If I hadn't known Greg was there, I would not have known this person that appeared before us was there. It's amazing.
Okay, good. I got the photo. Yeah, I haven't posted this online yet. But
dude, it's so funny.
But
you guys get an exclusive for dealing with chaos.
This is you'll get an exclusive. Then we'll get to the super like. Because Coy wanted us to be far away, but I was like, but we might not be able to really see. There's only so far we can see. So I was like, how can we?
That's huge. This is bigger than every Superman photo.
I was like, how can we make sure that they can see? How can we make sure that they can actually? I can get close enough
to experience
so that way I can get her reaction on camera.
Because I also mic'd up, so we have the audio of the actual proposal.
And I got there so fucking early.
Dude, this is such a good image.
And,
it could
and
be the whole screen.
They literally, I got people treating me so weird, so strange.
I mean, you looked like this.
And someone even walked by and said, "Is there? I hope there's not a bomb in your backpack." To me, some racist ass shit just because of how I looked. All right,
it's so good.
I tried it. The photo's fucking enormous. I really have a build up here to show how I disguised myself.
And I also love the reflection in your sunglasses.
This is what I did. This is how I dressed.
It's so good.
And then
It's so good. Hold on, I have like a far away shot that actually like turned out pretty
So
solid.
this is what if anyone just happens to suddenly turn on the stream, this is
it.
This is what I did for Coy to make sure I could get on his fiance's reaction. Oh, that's great. To get his fiance's reaction.
Here, I'll send this to you if you want to airdrop it. Or can I? Is that going to go there?
No, it won't.
Oh shit! Well, it's going
to
your phone.
A whole process. You saw how much of a process it was to get this
true.
photo.
Guys, it's real good. It was real good work.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So yeah, that's been a crazy couple weeks, and the live chat's excited. Now they feel like I do watch the live chat.
Yeah.
And look at all these beautiful crying faces. We did it, you guys.
All right.
What a chaotic stream.
All right, let's finally get to thank you to everyone who's been contributing to our Streamlabs and Super Chats. Because holy shit, are we behind?
Alba Dumbledore doing the work.
Okay.
Greg is Clark Kent.
Thank you guys. You guys are Clark Kent.
You did Clark Kent. I wouldn't have known it was you.
Funny
man,
comment.
that's good.
All right.
Good work.
Normally we start with the Super Chats. Let's start with the Streamlabs today.
All right, into that.
And oh my God, bye live chat. No, wait, hold on. Okay, I gotta rewrite this whole thing. Okay, all right. Everyone be quiet.
So quiet.
I mean, you can still see the
All right,
chat.
it's done. Yeah.
You can still see the chat.
Well, I noticed him, but I wouldn't have known it was him. Like, he was very visible. He just wasn't visibly Greg Alba. That's the magic of it.
Well, I also like.
He had a limp.
I also put. Oh yeah, I also. That was the other thing. I also had a limp.
He developed a limp. And when I saw him,
Wow, look at this. There's an AI generated chat summary.
a live streamer, Koi. Hello.
Koi is being asked about rumors on continuing to play. Oh my god, it just went away.
Koi is. I saw. Yeah, there was a quick thing.
Whoa, I've
Koi's being
never
asked about-
seen that. There's an AI generated live stream thing. I love it. Koi's new favorite thing. Every one of Koi's favorite things
If
is
there,
here.
if there's one thing I love more than paparazzi,
Leaked photos
it's artificial
and
intelligence. Oh yeah.
Koi's face.
All of it
Koi's
in one
stream.
beautiful stream. Guys, I'm so glad to spend my Saturday with AI and paparazzi photos. What else would I rather be doing except killing myself?
Holy shit.
Well, yeah, fun chaos. Nosferatu, I'm very excited about.
That was a great trailer. Okay, anyway, Geek Ledger, you're our first one we're coming to. All right, here we go. All right. Geek Ledger. There's been a lot of BTS photos from the upcoming Superman movie. I personally loved all the fictional businesses and Easter eggs in the photos. What are some of your favorite fictional DC businesses and Easter eggs that you saw? I didn't see any. There was
so
there were
dope.
DC.
Yeah.
What?
There's
are you talking
also,
about?
I think the Gotham Library is my favorite. Like, there's a
Oh,
Metropolis
cool.
and Gotham Library like sharing books. Also,
Really?
Yeah, dude, they're going hard
see
in
any
the
of that, yeah.
details. James Gunn used a very iconic bit of DC mythology book. Like, you know those Encyclopedia Britannicas about, like, real stuff?
Yeah.
In DC, there are those of DC lore, and he used one of the long descriptions of Metropolis as a bus shelter. So he's clearly diving into, like, the deep lore of Metropolis and making it, like, canon bus shelter stuff. Like, it's amazing how much he loves this world. I'm so
Okay.
excited.
Damn, I had no idea.
Yeah, we're in for a good time. Like, I think, honestly, the DCU...
Is there Arkham Asylum?
Oh, there will be in Batman.
And next to the Daily Planet?
And that would make so much sense. Why is it here?
Give me the most obvious stuff.
Why was it over there? I also think that the MCU will always be the thing that got us to scale superhero stuff, but I really think that the MCU ran so the DCU could sprint. Like the Sony movies, like Spider-Man and X-Men, Blade, they walked so MCU could run, but now we're sprinting. Like, this is so nerdy.
Guys, I'm already off to a great start. That wasn't even our first stream. It was
Could something else go wrong?
It was actually Marco Tunstall. It was our first stream.
Are we sure? Okay, I just checked the dates. That
He
is
said,
correct.
I won't be able to watch live, but I just got paid and wanted to support you guys
Oh,
and
what a
watch
nice first
That
one.
is super duper kind.
Glad we didn't miss that
Thank you
because
so
that's so
much.
sweet. Thank you
you.
for just
Thank
the
you.
kindness, Marco.
Okay, the gamer MJ, he's saying, Koi,
Hey,
thank you for the stream, lad, buddy. Koi, I know exactly who you're talking in the arresting photo. Yeah, definitely Ultraman. So there's this guy who kind of looks like Spider-Man Noir, or
Black Noir.
Black Noir, more Black Noir. Are you guys going to react to the Crisis animated movies? The first one was good, and the second, well, it exists. They do change things about though. Love you guys. That's a big maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like once the DCU gets back cracking, the SEO on the DC stuff might be better, and we could like try a new one or so. But I think that for now, we're doing the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series, which I will healthily say that last arc of season 1 is my favorite symbiote suit adaptation of all time. It is the best I've seen Venom adapted, which is saying a lot because I love Venom. So we're doing that for now, and then we've been still doing animated stuff, but we took a little break from DC, so time will tell.
Was there an AI summary that said Greg and Koi's hidden feelings for each other was electric? How do you access this AI summary? This sounds
It's not
so
wrong,
interesting.
But our hidden feelings were electric.
How do you do this?
You know, there's like
which button did I hit? Oh, here it is. Okay. This is a live chat between a group of friends talking about various topics, including movies, TV shows, and AI.
They're also discussing their own personal
they're discussing me. Oh wow, we could just get all the super chats here.
Oh, there's a whole button that just makes it.
There's a whole button.
I feel foolish. We've been doing these for months. Maybe it's new. I hope it's new because it's very easy.
Oh, but it doesn't go all the way to the top.
Which we need. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I would hate if we were like, wait,
We're learning in real time with you guys.
along with the AI learning with us. Great.
Well, yeah. When it comes to the animated movies, Gamer MJ, a lot of times it's like planned. Like Hulk versus Wolverine, not a popular animated movie. It's really not. Like the DC animated movies were more popular, but with the timing of it, when it was coming out during X-Men, it was perfectly timed to like be in that market, so it can get promoted and have a bigger reach. And so it actually did like really well on the channel. And so yeah, that's what he means by SEO.
Search engine optimization.
Some people don't like when I talk about numbers.
Excuse me, David Zaslav.
Sometimes
excuse me,
knowing
Mr.
numbers
CEO.
helps people be seen more.
Hey, this man's trying to break even. You guys got mad at him, all right? I know no other business that's like, oh, we want to have fun and also not lose money. I don't know. Easy now, Mr. CEO.
I mean, someone told me recently, like, a lot of people don't like being reminded about the business aspect of
And that's
of
with
things.
movies, too. If you think about when people get mad at, like, the business side of show business, it's the same reaction.
And that's why I think they have to start making movies via AI. Because we
get
gotta,
rid of all
we
the
gotta
human
start. They
elements
gotta
at all.
start breaking even, Cole.
And just get rid of everything human
And
about
I
it.
understand now.
I'll leave.
No.
I'll be out of Hollywood. If they start making AI movies to scale, there's nothing here for me.
Why would you not want us to see AI? You gotta at least see what they look like.
I will literally just end up on a farm in Ireland. I will just be done with
You gotta
society.
see what an AI movie. What surprised me, out of all the AI talks, did you guys see this? Did we, we talked about the Fantastic Four news.
Yep.
Well, Coy did. I was gone
Right.
the whole time. But it was Ashton Kutcher talking about it. He was like heavily promoting it, and I think he's got a stake in it. I think he's like invested in it.
He's an entrepreneur.
But
he
man,
barely acts anymore. He invests.
that was insane to me. I'm like, whoa, dude, you were like upsetting so many of your peers right now. You were practically saying like, yeah, I could just like completely generate an entire AI movie for you.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Yeah.
But I think that we're going to see more and more of that. Like Donald Glover is aggressively advocating for it and directing stuff, which is hugely disappointing for me because I really love his art and I think he's got a very unique mind and he's making art less unique by I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a longer conversation.
I covered Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's probably my favorite solo movie reaction.
I think it's the one pinned on the page.
Oh yeah, I did that because it got demonetized at like 100,000 views, and I was pissed about that. And I just wanted it to be.
here.
I just wanted it to be seen. So I was like, I'm gonna make it the pin one because when it's demonetized, it's not gonna get seen. So it's not about money.
I don't know,
I
Greg.
just wanted
I
it to
don't
be
know.
seen because I really love that
It's
one.
about spotlighting Greg everywhere,
yeah.
every time, all at once.
Oh no, I changed it to the announcement video.
Oh,
That's
that
the
makes
kind
sense.
one. Danny Unchained, what's up, Danny? Good to see you again, buddy. Love this Superman suit. I think it pays respects and honors the majority of Superman comics. I understand why some people dislike the bagginess, lines, and other elements. It will look better on screen. I'll tell you this much. This is the first time in a long time people are really talking about DC again.
I'm
And this
elated.
Superman is really that's not fucking Batman, you know.
Like
I
DC.
see, like you know, everyone just
There's
acts-
other characters.
I mean, it'd be sure it's just Superman, which is like the next
other-
one.
And then Wonder Woman. Those are three.
At the same time, people are there's creating the anticipation and the hype for this now is great because when you generate this anticipation and if it pays off, which I'm really hoping it does, it will take just this one film to put DC back on track.
And it looks like
Just
that's what this is doing.
one film.
100%. I totally agree. And I
Yeah.
think this is doing that. Like, I think this conversation is that.
Exactly. It's good to just be in the conversation.
I actually, like, I love that we're to the point where someone asked me about Mr. Terrific, and I was like, you know those letters in that order? Like, it feels
Yeah.
so exciting that even deep cuts. Yeah.
Star-Lord asking my favorite question. Thanks for the super chat. Is Chucky season 2 in the cards at all for a reacts?
Took longer than I expected.
It took a little longer. I mean, I think I saw some of it pop up in the live chat. Right now, not at the moment, and it's I put a very detailed pinned comment out, which a lot of people still didn't. Some people really responded well to it, and I'll say this: like the thing that was surprising to me about the reaction that happened from people is whenever people stop covering a show, when they're in the middle of a show and they stop covering it, they do one of two things. They don't say anything, or they put out like a tweet or a community page post. And Roxy, Tara, and I, it was a group decision, and we discussed it for like an hour, and like pretty much like an hour long of like if we should continue it. And by the end of it, by the end of like coming to that decision, I forgot what I was talking about.
Chucky and how it was a group decision.
I saw a comment come in, and I was like, interesting comment. Yeah.
Greg just started eating, and Greg's trying to get calories back in his body. You were talking about Chucky and the decision for season 2.
Yeah. No. At the moment, at the moment, no. And I didn't anticipate. Oh yeah, most people when they just put out a community post or something, and we wanted them to be able to at least tell the people directly, which is not something people usually do. And I was met with instant regret the next day. I was like, I should have just taken the not trying to
comment.
Yeah, I should have taken the approach that everyone takes, which is don't say anything.
Yeah.
Or just put out a quick little Twitter post. And that it really it was like, wow, I really became the villain for a day. And I tried being as transparent as possible. And you know, I had a failed moment in anticipation. I'll admit I failed. Yeah, the same way I stopped covering Superman and Lois season 3. Eventually, people stopped asking, right? And that's the other part. Is other people kept saying if Greg was in it, he'd be covering. I'm like, actually,
I stopped Superman and Lois.
I stopped Chucky
awesome.
season 3, and I stopped Superman and Lois because of the same exact reasons.
Also, I'm going to advocate for Greg. We recently did that video that was like the group, all of us announcing like the schedule and all that stuff, and we've been like as rejects hanging out more. And in doing that, we've all discussed like what we want to have reactions be to us. I, if you haven't noticed, hate YouTube culture. I don't know anyone in it. I think it's gross. I think it's toxic. I think the average YouTube video is not good for art because it's a lot of times like trying to guess stuff, or it's trying to scoop stuff, or it's making it into a commodity, or it's like overanalyzing Easter eggs, losing the actual narrative, or it's only looking at stuff for cameos. It's not good for art, but it is a very profitable thing, so a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be a YouTuber. I've realized that journalism, especially in film, is dying. Like, there's never going to be the job I want to do anymore. It's not there anymore. Entertainment Tonight is getting smaller. All these things are getting smaller. I feel like Brad Pitt in Babylon. I'm like the guy that's in silent film and talkies are coming out, and I'm just clinging to the last bits of anything I have. And it's largely because of YouTube. And I realize I work on YouTube. I think the platform itself has potential. The singular only boss person running a channel I have ever worked for that has ever had a conversation about why he does this, and the actual audience, the actual viewer that I have ever worked with is Greg. So the fact that people come at Greg for not being able to not even break even, not profit, not grow, nothing in the plus, literally just not lose is Greg. So wrong tree to bark up. It's insane because it's the only place I'm willing to put all of my time and energy. Today, I was supposed to be here at 1:30, and Greg was like, where are you at 12? And I was like, what do you mean? I stopped everything and got here. That's the only place I do this for. That literally, because he does reactions, because it's sharing a communal experience. He builds things because we're celebrating art. You can make this as trivial as you want, or you can actually see the heart of what we're trying to do if you want. That's up to you. But never, never think he doesn't give a shit.
I really do. that was the harshest. That was actually I won't go into the other thing that really fucked me. That's a real personal thing.
I got mad.
But that actually messed me up, kind of. It was the second worst thing that day, believe it or not. That was actually number 2. But yeah, the last thing that I'll say about it is people keep comparing it to High School Musical not getting many views. Here's this decision that a lot of people don't realize about that is I never factor in paying myself. That sounds like a weird thing to say. I just never do. I just go like I pay everyone here, and then if I make the goal is to like get past the point where everyone's paid, which is a lot of people in the earnings, and then I'll keep what comes after, and so that's the way I do. So like whenever we've done like a movie reaction, if it's like Coin I do in a movie reaction, I'll pay Coy, I'll pay editors, but then the time I do with like working on the thumbnail, me co-hosting with Coy. When I say break even, I'm only thinking about the money it costs to pay Coy and editors. So sometimes they break even, but then we have a business person who I work with who's like, "But what are you paying yourself per hour?" I'm like, I don't do that.
So, and that's insane. And this is his.
And so a High School Musical, I don't have to worry about that because I'm in it and I work on it. So I don't concern myself with breaking even in that regard. But at the same time, we do break even because we have more people on Patreon, 3 times more people on Patreon watching it. So, yeah.
And Greg wasn't even going to talk about this today, so I just had to advocate for him because he wouldn't.
I know I'll still get the questions and get a bunch of crap, but hey, I mean, it's when you're leading something, you will get the blame. You're gonna get the blame, and I've accepted that. Christian Unpronounceable, happy Canada Day weekend to all. Thank you so much, Christian Unpronounceable. Make sure you see Christian Unpronounceable is always here.
I hope that we do something for Deadpool for Canada Day weekend. Maybe that's why they had. Maybe it's an announcement.
Some people think like I chose High School Musical over
Chucky.
I'm like, that's not the case.
Also, like,
why
is
would
there
I
a
just want to
scheduling? Like,
genuinely
yeah,
do both?
I don't Is it like we only have one
Yeah.
show on over
Yeah.
here? That's odd.
Yeah. And Roxy and Tara, I'm gonna have them do a live stream as well, and they got a lot more in store too that they're gonna be doing. I think they're amazing. I think they're better at connecting with audiences than I am, honestly.
She-Jack Nation, killing it. Also, I love those shirts.
So, yeah, they're doing great. Samuel Battenfeld. Hit monkey, not monkey man. He said it every
That
week,
was so
every
funny.
time.
You have two
Thank you,
different live streams.
because literally he said hit monkey, and my mind before I read that went not. My mind actually said not monkey man. Season 2 is coming July 15th. Seems like a good time to do a reaction to the first one, please. Also, I loved your Ice Age reactions. Thank you so much. Those Ice Age films were really a surprise. Have you seen them?
They're fun. I've only seen the first 2.
They're fun. The third one's the best one.
Really?
Third one's like everyone's favorite, and I see why.
Opposite of Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, definitely. Opposite of most films.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really good.
You did the How to Train Your Dragons, right?
Yeah, that was great.
And I think 3 is the strongest. And that's rare. I
Oh, really?
love
I think
1.
2's the strongest.
Really?
Yeah.
One day we'll we should
Jamie, you've
talk.
been really mean to me, so no. You could stay in the chat, but
But you're not getting more attention than that.
You've been really mean,
The live action one's next year. It'd be fun to like do a summary of the first 3 again.
Do you ever take off your cap?
I usually don't wear a cap. I just didn't.
Last few times you've been here, you worn a cap.
Well, it's because I've been like doing stuff before, so I didn't like prep my hair.
Yeah.
So like this is just out of dismay.
Your fiance paid me a really nice compliment.
Oh, yeah?
She said your curls are looking healthy.
She did,
No one's ever said that to me ever.
and she's like
Healthy.
she knows hair
Yeah.
because she like takes care of hers. So that's an
And
actual
she's
praise.
a black girl with curly hair.
That's very specific
that's
praise.
more curly than me.
That's the highest praise one could get from the right person.
Yeah. Star-Lord back at it. Second question specifically to Coy. Coy, specific question to you. Who wins in a cage fight? U.S. Agent or Citizen V?
Citizen V, I think, because he'd fight a little dirtier. I think that U.S. Agent is definitely darker than Cap, but he still has his own morals and ethics of his own, beliefs.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think Citizen V does it all. I think
Yeah.
Citizen V will fight, to the burger.
Oh, thanks for the Easy A reaction compliment.
I love Easy A.
And by the way, guys, I don't know
Stargate.
I don't know if you know this. This was my favorite thing. I'll say the last thing I'll say about. Okay, this is the real last thing I'll say about the Chucky thing. One of the big threads was that I'm jealous of Tara and Roxy, which would be the weirdest thing for me to be like.
Greg does not want to be on camera.
I don't.
He's like,
I don't want people to be successful here.
How dare
I
they
must
make the
be
channel.
above everyone.
Greg's dream is
They're
to
liking
be
them
over
more
here.
than me. No. But what was funny is I've been posting on Instagram, and when I shared the thumbnails to like promote a video, I'll take the comments that people are saying about other people, and a lot of the times it's like, Coy and John, you're my favorite duo. Roxy and Tara, I'm only here at this channel for you. I'll post
We hate
those.
Greg.
I'll post those, and people think I don't. I'm like,
Yeah,
jealous.
he makes that. Like, also, like a number of times Greg's been, we should need to hire more hosts, or we need to get hosts on more, so I don't have to be on camera as much. It doesn't work that
and
way.
I think a lot about just how to tend to people's strengths and promote them and make them better. So it's like the weirdest fucking thing, man. It was just it was alarming to me because it was the first time my character had been so attacked. I think that's what it was. It's like people a lot of times get like mad at my reaction or opinion.
But when it's about you.
But when it was like, oh, my character's now being, and I think the part that I feel fortunate about is I'm surrounded by people who I feel like really know my character, that I feel okay.
Samil, we
so-
didn't technically answer his Hit Monkey question.
We might do Hit Monkey. I'll let you know, buddy.
I realized you said super chat. We were like, let's
we'll
acknowledge.
remember your fucking name.
Yeah, Samil, Hit Monkey.
Yeah.
Maybe.
James Stevens, glad to see another live stream. Thoughts on Dune Messiah officially having the same release date as the next Star Wars film? I think Dune crushes. Does it really? Oh,
Yeah, dude.
damn.
They dropped the release date, and it's the same day.
Oh, shit.
I think Star Wars blinks, or it should, because Dune is so much better.
Going toe to toe.
With the thing that copied it. I love that Star Wars copied Dune so much, and then Dune's like, by the way, gangster move.
Dune was love, but Dune 2 felt like a cultural moment in Hollywood.
It feels like what Star Wars must have felt like in the 70s, but certainly not in the last 20 years. Star Wars hasn't felt like impactful, whereas Dune felt impactful. So I love that Dune 3 is hold my beering. And I also love that Warner Brothers is like, Disney.
Out of all the Dune movies, I'm most excited for that one. because we've already had the David Lynch Dune interpretation.
We've gotten to this point, yeah.
So there was like a little benchmark they had to clear, for a film that people did not like.
And now we're into the weird.
And they did that. Now it's like, okay, this has not been done. Let's do this now.
And Denis is just, I mean, I think all of his films are amazing. I don't think he's missed yet.
The only one I haven't seen is the Twins one.
It's my least favorite because of the very, very, very end, but it's still amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really kind thing for someone to say to another person who they said, congrats on your first super chat. That's cool.
That's cool. I love that. Someone said the audio's low, but
we get that every time.
Oh, okay.
And I don't understand because I play it back and I'm like, it sounds fine.
All right.
Hey, Muhammad, welcome back. Levi Lugo, love your guys' content. Thank you for the super chat. I've always been fascinated with movies and never had anyone to watch or talk about them with. But when I watch your content, it's like I'm watching talking movies with you.
That's the goal, man.
This was the big before I had to talk with anyone. Here's what happened. I'll give you guys a real behind the scenes story. There was a reaction that Aaron and Roxy did together where they were met with about as much hate as I was. They were met with a lot of hate. And Roxy came to me and she's like, "What can I do to be better here?" Because it's a weird thing because all I want is for people to be themselves, but there's also a bit of it. It sounds weird to say, sounds a little pretentious, but I think when people start to do it, they're like, oh, there is a kind of art form to doing a movie reaction.
Because I watch movies like this.
Because you have to be like aware of a lot of things.
That's how I
as
watch
you're
movies.
doing it, but you also have to be genuine and vulnerable, simultaneously. It is kind of like an acting exercise where you have to be real, sincere, vulnerable, but you have to be aware of like there's a camera here and this and lighting and
you have to learn to talk and listen uniquely too. It's actually made me a better interviewer.
Yeah.
Because you're listening to the movie, but you're also making your own sounds.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
And so when I went down with her, it got me to reflect on like why I love doing reaction videos. I did a very long one on Patreon for why I love doing them. And a big part of the why with the connecting with audiences is exactly what you just said, Levi, is I've come to realize, like growing up in LA, I've taken for granted that as a film lover, I'm surrounded by film lovers. It's the main thing out here is film community. In fact, it's fucking refreshing when you get to have friends who are not involved in the film business.
It's so cool.
It's very refreshing. And what you're talking about is a big thing that really stood out to me. When we had our Dune 2 event, this guy came up to me and said, like, he drove far away. He's like, I don't really have many friends to talk about with films. And I feel like you guys are like my friends. And he was crying a little bit. And something like that will always stick in my memory. And it's got me to realize that that's like that for a lot of people. And that's why I encourage people here to be really real with their emotions. So that way that's who they're connecting with. It's like I was telling Aaron the other day, I'm like, you're not really, when you're filming a video, you're not really talking to a whole bunch of people. The odds are it's just one person on their phone watching, or one person at a computer watching.
And then it's just a lot of ones.
Yeah, so you should just connect with that one person, And
that's why I like cons so much. Like I love cons because I connect
exactly.
to the individual, not the number on the bottom of the YouTube reaction. I connect to that one. It's usually like one or two friends at the booth. And I love that moment of like, we saw this, we thought the same.
Yes.
That's why I left acting like back in the days. Like I had done acting for, I don't know, like 8 years. And I was SAG. I had been acting for a while. I was having more success than the average person. I was in both Dark Knight Rises and Star Trek Into Darkness in the same year. So there was a cool 3 months where I was the only actor to act in the first 2 IMAX filmed major features. And I was like,
Sweet.
Career. And then I was like, I don't feel fulfilled in the way that I thought my whole life I would. Like as a child, I thought once I was successful-ish, it would feel good and I'd want to push it to very successful. But I didn't like repetition and I didn't feel like I was being seen because they're tiny, tiny roles. You can't even see me in them. But then I did this Please Explain Deadpool video over at Screen Junkies, and within 30 hours of it dropping, I ran into 4 people on the street that were like, the thing you said about Deadpool's how I've always felt. No one else. And I was like, wait, I can have an impact to individuals, not just like be projected. And so for me, that's a similar thing here. And that is one of the things I do think YouTube does well.
Yeah, if you're on the right channel.
Yeah.
There's also a very different side where you can just gather a lot of rage.
The profitable side.
Yeah.
The side that makes money.
Nick Alexander, I am rewatching all X-Men movies before Deadpool 3. Do you suggest any others to watch prior? Love your crew. Happy Pride, Gregory. Happy Pride indeed, mofos. I gonna hang out with my My gay neighbors.
I was like, well, for
It's
Pride,
like,
the
I'll
last
have
day of
to- I'll
Pride.
have to fuck
How are
with
you
it.
gonna celebrate?
Let's talk to them.
I love them,
gay
dude.
neighbors.
I
What's
was
going
just
on?
telling my girlfriend how great they are. Oh, my fiance. I was just telling my fiance how much your neighbors are great.
Well, I mean, just watch all the X-Men and Deadpool movies for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I got something to tell you guys that there are a couple people here who are going to be doing a react series to the X-Men and Deadpool movies.
Oh,
But instead of like doing it leading up to the release date of Deadpool 3, they're going to try. We're trying to time it to the video on demand release date of Deadpool 3.
smart.
So
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Have they not seen them?
One of them hasn't. So one wants to do a rewatch. You guys might be able to guess if you really know the channel.
It's not me because I'm asking.
One already wants to do a rewatch
'Kay.
because they really want to. The other hasn't.
Oh,
And so the idea is one's doing the rewatch and the other's first time.
that's cool.
Yeah. And I'm excited. They already filmed the first X-Men movie.
I will be watching. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I would recommend you check out the Adam Project and
Free guy.
for some Sean Levy. Also, Real Steel, just because it's amazing and not enough people talk about.
I mean,
how
if
great
you
Real
really
Steel
want,
is.
if you want the real film full experience, yeah, Free Guy.
Free Guy, and yeah, like go through the Sean Levy
Yeah.
journey.
And Roxy and Andrew have a Free Guy reaction coming up next week.
After you watch Free Guy, watch them react. But yeah, I'd say those would be good. I think Logan would be good. I assume you're including that in the X-Men movies. I'm actually going to be doing on my personal channel. Basically, Ryan Reynolds movies to watch before Deadpool 1 week, Hugh Jackman movies to watch another week, and then Sean Levy movies. And I'm be doing a breakdown of each of the ones that I think you should see because I think there's going to be more drama in Deadpool 3 than's being advertised. So I'm going to give some more dramatic Ryan Reynolds performances. And then I'm also doing Deadpool comics to read, Wolverine comics to read, and X-Men comics to read one per week. So I'm going to be way over there.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick Alexander. Hope you enjoyed that rewatch, man. Brian McHenry, Julian McMahon as Doom. He was great as Doom. Oh, was he the original
on
guy
the
in Fantastic Four? Did you like him? I don't know Doom well enough. I've been admittedly off my comic game. I've been reading a lot of personal development books, and I've been admittedly off of my comic game for a while, and I lose track and memory of how things are. Was he a good Doom?
I thought he was fine. I didn't think he was exceptional. There's a lot of, in my opinion, the Fantastic Four movies weren't beloved until the last couple of years where there's like that revisionist history because they're like 20 years old. There's this thing that happens where every 20 years things that weren't good are seen as good prequels. And I think that the Fantastic Four is getting that treatment right now. I didn't personally see him as Doom. I got nothing against the guy, but he never was who I thought of as Doom was. I didn't find him as intimidating as a authoritarian dictator leader as was like this scary kind of like he felt like a scary CEO. He was more American Psycho than leader.
Yeah.
To me.
I like Rise of Silver Surfer.
It's fun. The casting on those choices is odd.
Cam plays.
Except Chris Evans.
Hey, Coy.
Hey.
Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Have you been reading the MonsterVerse versus DC comics? And if so, what do you think of it? And Greg, what is your favorite beanie? Ironically, my favorite beanie as of late, I'll take this one. I can answer this one.
fun.
I can actually answer this
you
question,
got
guys.
take them both.
This takes a lot of research. I can do this one.
Okay, you got it.
Roxy had a movie called oh my god. Oh shit. Always low. Can you imagine if I
You just
totally
didn't know.
fucking didn't know the name of her movie? Like, that's a terrible look.
We just spent an entire hour like Greg's a good friend that
Yeah.
cares.
I watched the movie.
You hate it.
She's great in it. She is. She's generally great. And there was like a promo press kit package, and there was a beanie in there. And,
Oh, yeah.
And I really like that one. When I replaced my Daredevil beanie, it's too big. It's not the same size.
Because you've worn it for like
No. Remember I lost my beanie.
that one, yeah. We never found that, which is so crazy.
The day I lost my Daredevil
That was a rough
beanie,
day here.
I saw
I was
me
here
fucking
physically.
super pissed
It
off.
was
Yeah.
terrifying. And I didn't know what to do because I'm like, how do we find a bee?
It's
Like, there's no
I'm
solution to
Literally
this.
losing my shit over a bee.
It was intense. It was a big day.
Right now, the thing I lost are AirPod Pros, and I could see I can see where it's at the person's house, and I've filed a police report.
Dude, knock.
My wife doesn't want me to do that.
I'll go.
She thinks it could be dangerous. I mean, we should go together.
Yeah, dude.
I want my fucking AirPods back. Yeah,
Theft.
I literally see them driving around with it and stuff. I'm like, God
Dude,
damn.
I love violence,
Yeah.
man. Bring me.
All right, that might be
Yeah,
a good
fun,
idea.
dude. Bonding. I haven't been in a fight in years.
Are you reading the MonsterVerse versus DC comics? Yeah.
No, I'm not as big on those crossovers as a lot of people, and I'm reading like 50 to 60 books a week, so those just didn't make the cut. I hear they're good if you like those type of books. They're just not my cup of tea.
Sure. Well, I'm sure that's an exciting answer for you.
Sorry.
Diego Guevara. Might be off topic, but any chance you guys cover the bear here on the channel? This is the part about, again, numbers that people don't like me talking about.
But you got asked.
Is that there's something about, I don't know, it might actually be a good Patreon show. It's different committing to a movie versus a show, because if you commit to a show, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make sure we at least finish the season, even if it's like failing. We're going to at least finish the season. And I don't know, because like with the bear, I feel like we'd have to start from season 1. And by the time season 4 is over, no one's gonna be watching the bear anymore. You know?
Yeah.
So
you have to go way back.
I'm trying to time it. Like, okay, so for Witcher, I tried timing that well for when we covered season 1, which was season 2 is gonna come out, so we timed it where we can like building up to Witcher season 2. And then I did the same thing. I'm gonna try the same thing when Percy Jackson has season 2 coming out. And maybe down the road when I can prepare better for the bear. But everyone just keeps telling me that's like the best show ever.
You should watch it. Just watch it.
I haven't even seen like a clip.
Dude,
I don't know
it's
anything.
so
I don't
good.
know jack about it, and I'm very. It sounds daunting because
It's
just because
so
of how much
anxiety
people
ridden,
love
dude.
it.
It's also like a show that is exhausting. Like it's so much anxiety in a good way. Like it's literally a catharsis of like, okay, I survived that episode. Like it's one of those. It's kind of like Uncut Gems where you finish it and you're like, good God.
Yeah.
I literally the thing I was filming when you called me was the part 3 reaction to the season. I just finished the show. It's so good.
I wonder. I mean, no, 35K is actually not a bad range for that. Honestly, it's not bad at all. Because I'm sure that there we have like patrons and stuff as well. I don't know. I would just hate to
start and have the
start
Chucky
it
situation.
it's fucking dead. Yeah, I'm like, oh, God damn it, yeah.
Blame the Chucky comments for Greg's apprehension.
Shows are such a much different commit, because you got channels like Normies and Blind Wave, where what they mainly do is shows, and they do like 4 TV shows a day or something like that, where we don't operate that way. We're usually like a movie reaction a day, which is a much more complicated edit than a TV show, but we all prefer doing that. We all prefer the movies, and I think outside of Roxy wants to do TV. Yeah, but we all prefer the movies, and this is our chance to watch movies in a different way. So yeah, but it's not off the list. Like that is something that I have heavily considered. I might just like pull the plug and just like be like, fuck it, I gotta watch it. I want to watch it anyway.
Yeah, you might just watch it.
Yeah,
like, and then put someone else on it. But like you should watch it.
Yeah. I'm just trying this completely different approach out in life of like, I'm going to be willing to talk a little bit more about the business side of things with people. And
I live chat especially.
Hopefully people because people don't like hearing about it because it paints it. I'm like, but every YouTuber does think this way or has to like learn this way. And I feel like I don't mind talking about it because I feel like as time is going on, more people are becoming influencers. You know, they're doing social media or they're becoming YouTubers. And I think like kind of sharing this information are good things to be aware of. And I feel like people who aren't interested in it gotta get mad at the information. But I feel like you can be both. You can be really caring about the people. You have to be. I feel like that's a good business. I think a good business is one that really cares about people. You know,
I also think there should be more financial conversations in life. Like if we were raised knowing how money was working, then we would all be better off.
Yeah.
I think it's very systemic that we as a country try to keep people poor and try to keep the rich rich. Like I think conversations about money aren't taught in schools, so you can have more blind little soldiers doing horrible jobs. I think financials should be discussed openly.
I think, it's like someone just said to me about he thinks the movies do better than the shows. And it's like, yeah, I mean, for the most part, they do because movie reactions have a better chance of growing where TV shows don't.
I'm more likely to watch a movie than commit to a show, so I'm more likely to watch someone's talking about. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense. It's more approachable.
Yeah. We defeated Medicare. That was the best. I watched that in real time. But
dude,
I was like, did he just say we defeated? I was like literally watching.
I didn't know that two people could lose a debate. I thought one had to win, but you know, one person constantly lying, one person barely conscious.
I'm not a Trumper, but I think
he won the debate.
Trump totally won.
Oh
that debate.
But like, if you actually fact check, no one won. That's
yeah,
what,
but that's the fucking moderators, Ron.
right.
They
Oh,
didn't
dude,
fact
those
check that shit.
moderators, CNN was a piece
Yeah,
of
like
crap.
even I sometimes sometimes I just took his word for it, which
Right.
is his power.
Right.
That's his power.
That's how he got where he
he
is.
speaks with, even if he's lying, he speaks with such conviction that it's believable. You know.
I should get in politics.
Deadshot. The people believe we're getting Hulk versus Wolverine because the audio of DP sounds different. Why would that lead to? Also, we've seen Logan versus Sabretooth while we never got Hulk.
I think you're the audio.
Oh, when they're
it's-
saying 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
I do think
because
that's
that's why the first time you said that, I was like, people keep saying first time 20 years, but I'm like, we had a fun, and then we
Yeah.
also had Liev Schreiber, and
I do think Hulk is in the movie. I mean, I said that.
I believe it.
I said that
Absolutely.
on my Wolverine Coy's
I mean, Mark Ruffalo. I think Sean Levy was prime for this movie.
Oh, 100%.
like he's
He
worked
had
with
those
enough
guys in his last movie.
Yeah, he's worked with all the actors to do it. He's even freaking worked with Mobius in all 3 of the Night of the Museums. You know?
Yeah.
He's prime for this.
And I think he can handle the team dynamic, which is why I think he's gonna end up on Secret Wars.
Yeah.
He speaks with 34 convictions.
It's a weird time because we're repeating so much from
2012, 20,
yeah, but yet I'm not
2016. Sorry.
yet I'm not as last time I was scared out of my mind about how things were going, and I'm this time I'm honestly a little apathetic because it's
Well,
just
we've
so
been
sad.
broken.
Yeah, it's just so sad. You know what I mean?
When you break a horse,
You
it
know?
doesn't come back.
Yeah, stop a job. How would you feel about a Great Lakes? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. If I ever forget to say that, I'm sorry because I am grateful. I know for a lot of people, $5 is a lot of money. You know, it is, and so I'm sorry if I ever forget. I never want to sound like I'm taking that for granted, so I'm sorry. How would you feel about a Great Lakes Avengers in the MCU? I'd like the Coen brothers to direct. I'm from Minnesota, so I'm biased. What is a Great Lakes Avengers?
It's literally like a not, I don't want to say lame, but it's like a C-list team of Avengers. So there's the West Coast Avengers, there's the Avengers that are in New York, there's a Great Lakes Avengers, and it's the Squirrel Girl caliber characters.
Oh, okay.
And the Coen brothers being so Minnesota, that would be hilarious.
Oh, that'd
I
be
am all
funny.
about that. Yes, co-signed. Bring that on, please and thank you.
I'm just gonna check to see if any Streamlabs came in for safety. Okay, just for safety. All right, sweet sauce. Okay. All right, good. We got ones to get to there. All right. Anyway, okay. Thank you guys. Thank you. I've been loving the positive chat here. Thank you. D Murdoch, thank you. I think they're referencing a different. Okay, yeah, exactly what we're talking about. Thank you, D Murdoch. I think they're referencing a different fight. The audio that just got me so excited. Killian for Doom hyped about. They could be using that as a mislead.
Yeah, and you will have heard the audio and be when you're in the movie. Also, I think the Sabretooth fight lasts a minute.
They've been waiting 20 years for this.
It's Hulk.
That is a brilliant.
And that's what I'm saying. Every one of these trailers
brilliant
is a mislead.
marketing tease.
Yeah. And it's by the master of marketing, Ryan Reynolds. Maximum Effort is killing this campaign.
Damn. What a brilliant tease. That is genius.
Dude, 1 month away.
I did not understand why people were freaking out about that line until now. I don't get what the big deal is.
Yeah, I think it's coming, man.
I'm just not as involved in some of the. I don't have the time to just let me see why.
Let me every single frame of this.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. That's blowing my mind. We could finally get it.
20 years.
The thing that I've wanted. Honestly, the film that I've wanted for so long is. I know he probably wouldn't do it, but someone who's willing to take it on in the style of him is Guillermo del Toro to do a Hulk versus Wolverine movie because I love what he did with the Hellboy movies. I believe he would find some actor to be able to do Hulk in practical effects, and I think you could get a cool R-rated version. That's been my fantasy adaptation to be brought to life. And I know we won't get that here. We will get a CGI Hulk, but it would be
it'd be awesome.
It would still be cool to see. Wow, Hulk and Wolverine sharing the screen.
Yeah, I think, and also all the dialogue from Deadpool seems like it's ADR because it doesn't match the way his mouth's moving, which I think is also a lot of great mismarketing.
Because they've been showing the more of the Fox shit, but they haven't been showing
the MCU shit.
Yeah, other than going to the TVA.
And there was a decent amount of MCU stuff in the CinemaCon footage, but it was all from the first 9 minutes of the movie.
Ooh, boy.
Dude, it's this month. Like, we're
Yeah.
a month out from Deadpool.
Oh, man.
4
We
weeks,
gotta
you guys.
Make sure we get to
Yeah, dude, I don't know how. I'm in Comic-Con. I'm so screwed. I'm literally at the place where the average person will
I got
spoil
you
it for me.
tickets.
I'm in San Diego.
I got to return your ticket.
Someone can sit there.
Maybe I'll just have an empty seat so I'm just sit next to an asshole on their
That's
fucking
true.
phone.
Have
Yeah.
space. Because it's A-list. I don't
Yeah.
mind you, like, keeping it.
Marcus Santos. If you guys get a chance, you should check out Xander Flicks. Dude is making his own indie comic called Cameraman. Very interesting. That is so kind of you
To, like, advocate for somebody.
to put out a super chat to promote someone else who's not you. That is really, really kind.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
I hope
Respect.
I hope whoever the Xander Flicks guy notices that
And that you're a good person.
and appreciates it. Yeah.
Pretty badass.
I feel like I should have some stupid Greg joke to undercut the moment.
No,
but
you
I
gotta
guess
be.
I'll- I guess I'll
Sometimes you're just authentic, Greg.
Sometimes I am just in a sincere mood.
Comic-Con is the last week of July. It is 25th through 28th.
Say on. Oh, this is so funny because I was literally thinking about just this. I was like, what do I give them again?
Read it out.
For Greg. Can I tell them the story?
It's so funny.
I will tell them the story of why they haven't done a reaction.
And because
yet.
I'm now comfortable with it. Because it's funny as fuck.
It was the first time I had to have a conversation with these two. Will Roxy and Coy ever do another reaction together? For Coy, top 3 favorite comics of Mr. Terrific. I've always thought his power set was very unique. Now, my story will take some time. So, Coy, what are your top 3 favorite comics of Mr. Terrific?
Strange Adventures, the most recent one with Tom King. I would say I like him as a part of a team. I don't like his solo stuff as much because it's hard to write him, and a lot of times the writer isn't as smart as the smartest man in the world because you can't be because you aren't the smartest man in the world. Strange Adventures. There's a cool arc with him in the current Flash. These aren't necessarily my favorites, but they're the ones that are coming to mind recently. And him in the Batman run by with Mitch Gerads' art that was part of the Batman anthology series from last year.
All right, cool. So Roxy and Coy did, yes, Kiger, that was a complicated movie reaction. It's like once in a while, what you have to do when you're editing one of these reactions is, we talked over a line. So we have to like move the clip over or something like that. So that way this line could be featured or this moment could be featured in a moment where they're not talking. So you do have to sometimes manipulate it. To make it like the commentary is all real and everything. You could do the watch along to see if like, are they fucking lying about shit? No, it's all there. When they did that reaction, those two did not shut the fuck up. I was there being like, I was working on the re-edit. I was 2 hours in.
Weeks.
I was only
Video
at
took
minute
weeks.
12. And I was pissed. I was like, they did not understand the homework assignment for this dread-heavy movie. And now because I care about, like, if I'm working on an edit, I try my best I see what happens when sometimes people get backlash, right? And sometimes it's unavoidable. But I do my best to make people look good if I'm working on an edit and to protect them. And I was like, I'm trying my best here.
He called me twice.
It could have been worse. Could have been so much worse.
He literally was like, don't read the comments on this one.
But it didn't go over that bad.
No,
it didn't.
because of the effort.
But it took a lot of, whoa, we got to really.
My side of this, I hadn't seen Roxy in like 6 months. Like Roxy and I just hadn't run into each other. And for years, we were both at Popcorn Talk, and then we were both at Screen Junkies, and then we were both at the Schmodown. So for years, I'd seen Roxy like at least once a month. And we're both from Boston. I don't have a lot of Boston homies out here. I also don't have a lot of like Boston energy people. I have this thing where I want to do this event, call it The Bike Riders. And I literally want to get all of the sensitive little influencers I know. And instead of riding motorcycles, I want to take them bicycle riding and get drunk at the beach because I don't know any hard people. I just know little LA bitches. Roxy is like good and like decently hard. Like she's actually got some like... I love Roxy's energy. So I hadn't seen Roxy in like 6 months. So the problem was it had been like forever and we were both so excited to see each other and that we shouldn't have not seen each other and then done our first reaction together. Because we were catching up, we were playing. It was a different vibe than it was appropriate for the movie. We should have done a comedy first.
Yeah, and there was like getting hung up and talking about like things that like don't matter.
Oh, because we hadn't talked.
but like things in the movie too. It was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was like, what the fuck? Like, who gives a shit?
And it's such an iconic movie.
And then you guys would ask questions like, if we weren't talking so much, you would have caught that.
What's
point.
going on? Have we been over? Oh yeah, no, that's on us. Yeah, no, that's real. But me and Rox used to do a comedy, and we've also seen each other in the last 6 months, which is nice.
It was just funny because I thought it was like slam dunk.
Yeah, you're like, this is gonna be a classic movie they haven't seen.
was like,
They're friends. It was one of my first reactions with not you or John.
Yeah, and
I
same
could
for
tell,
her.
Yeah, I could tell Greg
Yeah.
was like, I don't know if Chloe can do.
I think that was her
reactions.
first one actually. Yeah, that was funny. That was really really funny.
So yeah, we'll do a comedy next.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. I'll
We should
find.
do, like, a
I'll find.
Boston
I'll
movie.
find something.
There's a new Boston show with Casey Affleck and Matt Damon coming out, kid.
I'll find something.
Some Boston television.
I don't think I've ever been.
We should do that Marky Mark Mel Gibson movie for Roxy.
That does not look good.
It doesn't. We actually, you and I were tweeting about it, texting about it, because we're like, what? Why is Mel directing the movies he gets cast?
Yeah, I was like, was he influenced by these terrible B
Does he
movies
think he's a
starring in?
$5 Walmart
Like,
guy now?
What? Have you guys seen
What
this
happened to
trailer
Mel
for this new Mel Gibson Mark Wahlberg movie? Holy shit, that looks so bad.
Full disclosure, love Mark Wahlberg. Unfortunate disclosure, love Mel Gibson the actor, not the person.
And love Mel Gibson the director,
Not the person.
Yeah.
So we were excited, and then it looks like this fantasy of like what Mark Wahlberg thought he'd do on 9/11, because he's like, I would have stopped it. I'm like, I don't know if this is the move.
And it's weird to see them like Roxy really.
That was the
hates
joke.
Mark
Sorry, that was
Yeah.
the joke. And
And,
I understand.
Here's the weird part is the trailer just doesn't tell you it's directed by Mel Gibson, but it tells you all the movies who it's directed by.
Right. And
And-
well, that's to sell the movie.
And then you advertise Braveheart, Hacksaw Ridge, Apocalypto with this like schlocky, terrible looking B movie.
How do you
I'm
go like he made
what?
Braveheart?
Like,
What is
oh
this?
man, like if there's anything that feels like more than a fall from like the one thing Mel could hold on to
It's his directing.
is his directing, and
Not
this
anymore.
does not look like this looks like a terrible film.
I love Mark Wahlberg and Kevin Hart separately. Whenever they work
Baldberg,
together.
yeah,
Like,
that
it's-
bald wig is horrible.
It's all bad. All of it's
like
bad.
it's a terrible looking movie.
That's why I made the
Like,
joke. I would not put Roxy through
the
that.
acting looks terrible too.
And I love Mark Wahlberg.
Anyway, Austin Ryan is saying, yeah, that was a shockingly bad show. I don't think I've been more excited for a movie than Deadpool and Wolverine. Can't wait for Koi's comic recommendations to prepare. Do you guys think Sean Levy will be announced as Avengers director at Comic-Con? All depends on the
Thursday
response.
box office.
third day. It all depends on that second
He
weekend
might find
drop.
out Friday. They might announce it Saturday. No, it's that weekend of.
I mean, Disney's owning this fucking year.
Oh,
Like,
dude, it's insane. They've
like,
set up their quarters
I
perfect.
didn't even think about. I haven't even been paying attention to Inside Out 2, but then every once in a while I see like Inside Out 2 is set to make like $10 billion this year.
It's doing all of the records.
Yeah,
And then they go
it's-
right from that into Deadpool. And
Yeah.
then right from Deadpool into, what's their fourth quarter? They have Mufasa and something else. They're making money.
I don't know, man, but it's doing great.
And
Yeah.
I think the issue is going to be Thursday. Pre-sales are already huge on Deadpool. It's tracking to make $200 million for an R-rated movie, which is insane.
Mhm.
So if it does as well as they think it is, I think he gets the next Avengers film, and I do think they announce it at Comic-Con. I don't think I was hoping Ryan Reynolds would be there. I was hoping that Hugh Jackman would be there. Apparently, there's a Wrexham game on Saturday in Canada, and it's in Ryan's hometown. I honestly think he might be in Canada. Like if it wasn't for the Wrexham game, I think we would have had
Sure.
a Deadpool Wolverine moment. But looking at the schedule, I also don't know if they need to advertise it at like Hall H,
Yeah.
as how big it is. My problem is Nerds Engage. I cannot talk about my panels until next week. But my issue is I have a panel during the Hall H Marvel panel. I'm missing it, and I'm devastated. I'm potentially missing Deadpool and the Marvel panel at Comic-Con. It's a bummer.
Oh, it's time I'm reading this chat as Koi's talking.
And then he stopped talking.
And he stopped talking.
But next time we do a live stream, whenever that is, I can tell you guys what panels I'm doing. They are exciting. I just need to sign my contract, like finalizing it. Greg Stein.
All right, here we go. Rob. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly hop over to the super chats. Streamlabs. I'm trying to I want to work on balancing this a little bit. We'll get there. Thank you so much for all the familiar faces here.
Yeah,
again,
it's great
too.
to see these names. Hopefully, I see you guys at Comic-Con.
All right, then I hit this button.
Scott Welsh, you tell him I said hi.
All right, so we left off on. Where do we leave off?
Doing not that one. It was lower. Like we hadn't done these yet.
Yeah, no, we did this one. Here we go.
We
Right.
We haven't talked about Armored Adventures yet.
Yeah, this is the one. This is
Oh,
the,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Sorry, it's
yeah.
lower here.
Oh, I was like at the wrong screen. Yeah. I'm choking on my shake.
Oh, I don't eat all day. As soon as I
God.
eat, it comes back to haunt me.
Oh, God. Ryan Green. Greg and Coy, hope you're both doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm a little sick.
dying
I'm
a little bit.
sick in the throat right now from a fucking shake. Grab you two ever. Jeweler.
That happens when you eat.
John, ever watch Iron Man Armored Adventures? Nope. Have you?
I've not actually.
It's a teenage Tony Stark, Rhodey, and Pepper show. Wait, it's like a teenage show, or is it teenage Tony Stark, Rhodey, and Pepper?
I assume it's teenage skewed, not a young
I
Tony.
would maybe watch a teenage version of Tony, Rhodey, and Pepper.
That
instead
sounds funny.
Of them just hanging out. Being,
Not yet Iron Man.
What about the suit of armor around the world?
I think we should do this.
It could be
He's
a
like
petition.
blushing around Pepper.
Yeah, that'd be so funny.
Rhodey's like about to go off to the military.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. Haven't seen it. I didn't watch a lot of animation until doing reactions here, to be honest. I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up, and that was kind of the extent. I mean, obviously, Batman the Animated Series,
Yeah.
Spider-Man, all that stuff has a youth. And I don't consider animation just for kids. I just personally didn't watch a lot as an adult, so I haven't seen a lot of the animated stuff in the last, 20 years.
Fuck yeah, man. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying Spectacular Spider-Man.
I'm having so much fun with it. It's such a good adaptation, and it's so smart. I'm really digging it.
I'm glad people are responding really well to it, too.
Yeah.
I was really excited for you guys to like hop on that shit.
Someone asked in the live chat. I mentioned on Capes and Cowls show I do with Harloff and Winston. I make a fifth of my income at cons. It's not that that's a lot of money. It's just that I work on the internet, which isn't a lot of money. So it's like not. It's not. I make a ton at cons. It's just I make not a ton all the time.
Are you asking me for a raise?
Subtly. Remember all those praise I was giving Greg?
Yeah.
Playing the long game. I was saying that for profit.
I gave everyone a raise.
You did.
Yeah.
That's how I eat. Guys, I'm getting married. It's
okay.
expensive. Greg knows.
I'm trying to give everyone like a commission.
No,
cut
this
off
is the only place I make a livable wage.
Gamer MJ Coy, I completely agree with your takes on leaks and how streaming is bad for the industry. I even stopped looking at leaks for. I keep wanting to say Dungeons and Dragons, Deadpool Wolverine. Saying the DC Superman is the best is a big fu to Snyder fans, and I absolutely love that. Greg, you look jacked. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. I am working out. And I'm intermittent fasting, so I feel.
Yeah,
really...
he's suffering for that art, so he needs that praise.
Coy and I usually flex at the very end.
We'll do it early
Coy,
now.
your bigness
I'm
is
getting
coming back.
Guys, I got sick for 2 months, but getting back.
I'm getting more toned. I've never had a six-pack, so I'm trying to get
That's his
That's
goal.
why I'm intermittent fasting. I'm trying to get a six-pack.
Working on my delts.
But I'm getting like smaller here.
Right, and that feels weird.
I'm
trying to get those
smaller.
big caps.
It's weird is I can lift more now.
Right.
But I'm
You're getting rid of all the extra.
weirdly smaller in my
You're
arms. Yeah.
contracting.
But I can definitely like lift more now.
Well, and you're doing like fast twitch fibers. You're getting different parts of the muscle.
Yeah. This is kind of like strange. Like, I'm stronger. Anyway. Thank you for the super stream laugh.
I don't say it as a fuck you, but I definitely think the triceps are crazy. Thank you. I definitely say it because I think that the way I see Superman is more like guns.
I've been doing a tricep workout.
I was showing you some stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy different. Go back in the last live stream we flexed off and look at the difference, man.
Yeah, because I only focus on like the rope pull downs, but now I'm doing like other ones.
These overhead things I was showing you. Also, the forearm into tricep is the way to make the triceps also look like this is more impressive than just this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when you do this,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
right?
Yeah, I'm getting this down. We weight lift.
Guys, we go to the gym.
I weight lift 3 to 4 times a week, and I go running once a week, and I do like at-home light workouts after I run, and I also do martial arts punches and martial arts kicks
And your
once a week.
complexion allows for such a you can see
And because
the
I've been
definition.
fucking like running like outside and working outside, I'm like tanned as fuck
My
now. Yeah.
Irishness doesn't help my visibility.
Anyway, Gamer MJ, that was all for you. Twisted viewing. It says part 1, but I only see a part 1. Let me
Alright.
refresh this really quick.
Yeah, someone said that we're the reason I turned into a gym rat.
I just want to get a six-pack because I've never had one.
Yeah, it's more about
like
a life goal.
literally, I'm already thinking like I want to do. Let me mark my words right now. I want to do 2 photos with the day I get a six-pack.
And then
First photo, fucking Jack six-pack. Second photo, gorging on donuts. Like, like the next slide over. Because
Instagram slide.
I'm literally like, the idea of like maintaining that sounds really like a chore.
I've done it. It's not pleasant.
But I want to at least get it. Like in certain lighting, I can see it.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm like, I want to be like, I'm up close and you can see
and you can
it.
walk around with it.
Yeah,
But that'll last a week and you'll hate it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's exhausting.
And I just want to like say I did it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, Twisted View, and we're gonna speed read these three. Thank you. Part one could let me just. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Thanks for paying attention to this. Coy's Irish wife.
That's why there's no definition. Like I'm big, but
I feel like we've just been hanging out. We're just having a great time. I haven't been paying attention to the time. I'm so sorry, Coy. Like I have not been paying attention to the time at all. I should stop the super chat.
Oh shit! It is almost 2.
Oh my god! Like so we started like 12:20, I think. All right, I got to stop the not allowing super. We just want to make sure we get through the rest.
Promise.
But we have to end at a certain time. Sorry.
I do have to go back to filming.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're known for like 3-hour live streams. We're trying
to make
it
it 2 so we can actually do them often.
sustain it. Yeah. All right. So, but thank you. Yes, I understand the implications of these actions. Okay. But Twisted Viewing could just be a coincidence. But given that Carl Urban and Anthony Starr are Kiwis, there was a New Zealand comedy horror movie called Black Sheep, and it was about killer sheep. Oh, because of the sheep thing in the last
which is
episode
so
of The Boys.
funny. Yeah.
Also, one of the main characters from that movie played a main character in Outrageous Fortune. What's Outrageous Fortune?
I assume another Kiwi movie? Like another New Zealand movie?
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Whose best friends were one of the twin characters that Anthony Starr played in Outrageous Fortune. We'll put him on the map before Banshee.
Ah.
And Frenchie's reply about effing a sheep could be some of Aussies calling us Kiwis sheep shackers. So yesterday.
That's such a good joke.
Yesterday. So the line in The Boys. Such a great line. This man is in no condition to fuck a sheep.
It's so good.
Like, it's not. It's like, I was waiting. I went to go see Aaron Alexander's show yesterday, and it was fucking amazing. It was actually like it was genuinely great. He only had like one scene, but man, the crowd participation in that scene that he had, it was all his lines, was like wild to see. And it's like he didn't have like a lot of friends show up. Like I was like one of 2. So this was just strangers responding.
Wow, that's cool.
That's how I'm like, damn, this is really effective. Anywho, that line, I was like waiting in line for like an hour because I got there too early, and I just found myself really thinking about like that line is a genius line. Like this man is in no condition to fuck a sheep because it's not the average writer I think would write a line that's more like. He's not going to fuck a sheep. He can't fuck a sheep. He says that line in a way as like he knows people that fuck sheep.
He might have fucked
He
a sheep.
might have fucked a sheep. And he's just saying like he's just not right now in the condition to
isn't
do
the
it.
time.
Yeah, like
It's not appropriate
the
now.
perfect choice of words to describe Frenchie.
Yep.
It's a perfect joke line.
And the levity we needed, like the moment of like, oh my god, what a great line.
Yeah.
It is so good.
It's a perfect line because it has so many implications about his mindset and what his past is.
And the idea of people fucking sheep is common. Like, I think that's a pretty universal, like, podunk redneck concept. So I think it's genius.
It's a genius line. It's a genius comedy line. It's like Frenchie's best line. One of the best lines of The Boys, hands down.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that was such a brilliant line. It's such a funny line.
Yeah. And I'm so glad he got that.
And
I'm glad he got that before he went to prison. Like, it gave him his big beat before we don't see him for a while.
And he's like perfect delivery too.
Yeah, Tamar Capone,
because it's so sincere. Like, like look at him. He can't do this right now.
If it wasn't earnest, also a lesser actor might have played it for the joke, and he played it so deadpan.
Because it's not about it being weird to fucking sheep. It's just that he just can't do it right because he's not.
Don't
he's
expect
not well.
that of him. What do you mean, Frenchie?
Coy, I also agree with Gamer MJ. You on one of those SDCC hopes for both? Have you seen Rick Stanicky? It's very funny. I was cry laughing. I do want to watch that. I love Zac Efron. I really do. I think he's a really underrated actor.
His lack of awards for fucking Iron Claw is bullshit.
I think he's really known for being Zac Efron, this celebrity.
Yeah.
And I feel like there still is a thing about him having to overcome people's preconceived notions of being aware of him from High School Musical, which is great, by the way. but that into like he plays men, and if he's not playing men, but like fucking dudes in college, like neighbors, he's hilarious.
I think he's a fantastic actor comedically and dramatically,
Yeah.
and he's trapped. Like
Yeah.
it's not fair because he's so good.
He's amazing.
Stanicki's fun. I seen it. John Cena's hilarious in it. It feels like a very '90s comedy, which we don't get a lot of anymore. So I had a good time with it.
All right, cool, yeah.
I know Letterboxd account, Greg. What are your SDCC hopes? That's the last part of it.
SDC hopes. Fantastic Four in costume.
I think that's coming.
And then, wait a minute. Is SDCC? It's the same weekend as Deadpool and
Yeah,
Wolverine.
it's the day before they start shooting Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's a bomb move. It's a dope move. They're doing that to have a mic drop moment of like,
100%.
look how successful we are right now.
Uh-huh.
You know?
And then they're gonna fly off to make Fantastic Four. I think the cast is
think-
there, and then they fly to London.
I think they might. I feel like we might finally get an X-Men announcement.
I think X-Men and maybe Doom. I think they might bring out Doom,
Man, be
For
that'd be
FF.
amazing. Yeah,
and I think they need some big news. And then I think they're gonna be very TV centric for D23.
yeah, that's great. All right, guys. You guys have been amazing. I've really been enjoying. I've needed this. I've been a little bit
A lot of anger on the.
admittedly, like I had to film yesterday with the guys, and I found myself like, okay, prime yourself, because it's a little workaround, man. Like you kind of have to have a little bit of logic and thick skin, and then be able to recognize, like, sometimes you get enough of it, it can't weigh on you. And you
Imagine if every day you were exposed to thousands of people being assholes.
Yeah,
Like it's not normal. Like the way we're connected to people because we're on the internet is just like when someone's mean to someone, the weight of it is crazy. And then when you realize like we get just so much exposure to hate, it's insane. Like psychologically, the volume of shit. I'm not like a coal miner. Jobs aren't like the hardest thing. I'm just acknowledging the psychological impact of like dealing with people.
And I don't want to be like an aggressive, angry asshole on the internet.
I do.
And I feel like I could take in the hate better. But
It helps
like,
me.
But I have to be like, oh, but I like being more vulnerable to connect with people.
I like being vulnerable on like the.
But I'm not
like this.
I don't like to be. I don't mean that in a weak way, though.
I don't think vulnerability
I
is
don't
weak.
feel
I
like
think
I'll-
vulnerability is strength.
I don't think I'm a weak person. I really don't think I'm a weak person.
I consider vulnerability much
Yeah.
stronger than anger. I enjoy if someone's a troll. I really like seeing them suffer.
Oh my
for
god! If you go to me
being-
on Twitter, yeah, I will.
That's
I
what
will
I mean.
fucking clap
Like,
back at you. Yeah,
and that I enjoy because
Yeah.
like when I see them delete their account or delete the tweet, then I know that they have suffered,
Yeah.
and I know they also go at other people, and it's more like fun for me to see them have a little less fire, but at the next person.
I mean, there was some guy who was going at me on Twitter about it, and I was sharing Koi, and then he deleted everything.
Isn't that the best
He
feeling?
deleted everything and blocked us.
Everything. And
Because
I was like, yeah.
Because I wasn't like, fuck you. I was
Yeah,
just like, taking what he said and being like, well, here's something you're logically wrong about
Yeah,
it.
so sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks for the 2 cents. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Some dude was like, they're not leaks if they're in public. And I was like, okay, share it to your 26 followers, Haas. And then like he blocked me and I was like, okay. Like it's a relief.
Raul Palacios. Thank you, sir. Sup, blokes? Not British. Okay. Thanks for your well-articulated enthusiasm. These projects matter. You're damn right they matter.
I think we need joy more than ever. And I think there's something really beautiful about looking at a world where there's morals. And I think we don't live in a world that has good and evil. We live in a world that
Yeah.
has a lot of shades of gray. And I think that having Superman come out next year is going to be really helpful after this election.
I think we have. I was actually listening to a really interesting. It was an old conversation with Quentin. It was a roundtable with Tarantino and Ridley Scott, and I saw this clip going around. I remember seeing this roundtable years ago, and he was speaking about how back then, when cinema was the golden age of cinema, it was an escape for people during the Great Depression. There was wars and they were poor, but this was an affordable escapism. And then as time has gone on, for it to be so monopolized, now it's like expensive as hell. I was talking with, I was like, there's someone I've been talking with who's not in the film business, but they love going to the movies with their family. That's like their favorite thing to do is go to the theaters with their family. And they were telling me like, yeah, it can be expensive, but it's still one of the few more affordable things to do if you can get like an A-list membership. They were saying, and that's why they got it. And they literally are not in the film business at all. And it was really interesting to talk to someone who goes to the theaters regularly, like weekly with their family. And I think right now, films should be that escapism, and especially during an election year. it gets so heated. And
That doesn't mean they shouldn't have something to say, but I do think escape is important.
Yeah, I don't mean like turn your brain off and forget about this movie in a second.
But
which
I
is
just wanted to give that caveat.
There's just this whole new form of filmmaking that I have an issue with, honestly, of just turn your brain off. Don't take it serious. I was like, yeah, I mean, there's a space for that, but now that seems like that's
the space.
Seems like that's the benchmark for
Yeah.
entertainment now.
And that doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Look at the first Jurassic Park versus Jurassic World. Like, it's just like
There's no summer blockbusters anymore. Like I've been having
Deadpool Wolverine, man.
Tara-
It feels like a big deal.
exactly. I mean, there's like I'm having Tara and I was having Tara and Aaron watch the Mummy films, and I'm like, summer blockbusters. You
Yeah.
remember that feeling?
Yeah.
Of just that summer blockbuster.
And I've been looking at 80s and 90s releases and how much we just celebrated stuff being
Yeah.
out. There's this comic called Grommets
Like
right now.
Stargate, man. Like that's
Just
like
that's so fun.
summer blockbuster to me.
There's
Yeah.
this comic called Grommets. It's by Rick Remender and Brian Posehn, a stand-up comedian, one of my favorite comic writers. And Tony Hawk just came out and endorsed it. It's a skateboarding comic. And Tony Hawk just said this feels exactly like it felt to skateboard in the 80s.
Great.
And reading it, I'm looking at all the little details in the background and the movies that are at the theater, and like they're doing all this crazy detailed art. And the joy and the fun in like nerds talking about movies in this comic makes me miss even the 90s of when we didn't just overanalyze everything and make
Right.
it crap. Like we don't hate things in the 80s and 90s. Like sure there were people like writing to Michael Keaton not like shouldn't be cast as Batman, but it wasn't the entire conversation. Like they got over it. I feel like we just
people
dwelled.
didn't monetize conversations.
Right.
Monetize negative conversations back then. Now they're treated like politics. They're treated like, that angry
It's an
guy
identity.
on the news. You know?
What you like is your identity.
And so it, like we talk about, we don't want politics in movies and shows. Those same guys who are yelling about it are politicizing it through their YouTube channels
and profiting versus just talking.
like
about
they're literally that like live news channel.
Yeah.
Where you see them yelling about politics. You know those videos that they always clip out with like the three talking heads and they're all yelling at each other. Like that's what they have done. They have politicized it when they're at the same time they're saying we don't want politics in our movies, but you are capitalizing on this.
Yeah.
it's fucking bizarre. It's like they and
But it's
I feel
working.
like
It's a
they're
good grift,
and
man.
they have to be aware they're doing that. They have to be.
That's giving them a lot more intelligence than I think.
I think they're aware.
I think some.
I
of them
don't think the followers are as aware.
I think
Yeah.
some of them are aware. I think there's also it's been a couple generations.
Great
now.
point, Francisco, about how we just have Fall Guy. That could have been a great. That's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah, me too. It's
Yeah.
my number 2 of the year, next to
Yeah,
Dune.
because we didn't have internet and Twitter.
Yeah.
That's why. That's
We-
one of the downfalls of the internet. There's a lot of beautiful things about the internet. We can do this, and there's a lot of negative things. Everything has a pro and a con. It's about how we wield power. Hi guys, you know what I found funny too? I was thinking about that song by Kanye. No one man should have all that power, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like the mentality of Kanye West at all.
It's not anymore, man. That era Kanye, I miss the old Kanye. He
hi,
even talks about the old Kanye, like he knows.
Hi guys, bit of wall. It's Mark Leach. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing better than you were last year, man. Which character from a Marvel film that seemed to do poorly would you like to see come back? Mine is Moon Knight. God, there's been a lot that has come out. I mean, I saw Simu Liu talking about Shang-Chi 2 will be coming.
I think that's a Comic-Con announcement.
Yes. God, they got a lot to get through on that.
I think it's like an hour and a half panel. I think they're going to do a big old chunk.
I absolutely would love to see Moon Knight come back. The problem is Moon Knight. A lot of these Disney Plus shows have these brilliant episodes of television that get overshadowed by a following week episode. The penultimate of Moon Knight is one of the best Marvel television shows they've ever done. The one where he's going through his whole past.
Yeah,
psychology.
before the big kaiju fight for no reason.
Yeah. That was a great episode, and then but no one that doesn't stay with people because the next episode comes out and it's typical. And I would like to.
A lot of that show was amazing.
I think Moon Knight is coming. I mean, they have a teaser of Moon Knight of the ice cream.
And
truck.
he'll be in the Midnight Suns.
Yeah, he'll be out there.
Eternals. I loved Eternals. I don't think it will happen. I hope I'm wrong. But I think one of the casualties of this conversation about Marvel, we hate this now, superhero fatigue. The last year, 3 of the top 10 movies were superhero films, box office wise. It's not as bad as people optically are seeing it, but I do think Marvel is taking less risks, and I think Eternals is going to be a casualty of that.
Yeah.
And I loved Eternals.
Quicksilver would be cool. Eon Blush. I'm not sure if we read your super chat yet. All right, here we go. Shamir Kelly. Hey, Coy and Greg. Coy, congratulations on your engagement. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Greg, I enjoyed you and Tara high school musical movie reactions. I was going to ask you to do Descendants on a live stream, but you're doing it. Yes, I got Descendants 2 coming out this weekend, on Monday, I mean. And the second one is my favorite. I still listen to most of those songs today. Those songs are great. Super chats are turned off right now.
We gotta go.
I was wondering after Descendants, you and Tara could consider Monster High. It's a fantasy musical like Descendants. Maybe. I'm in this weird era in my life where I'm watching Disney Channel original movies and loving them. As I get older, I get more into these cheesy things now.
It's interesting how that happens. I've gotten more emotional and more cheesy.
Yeah, it's definitely it. I notice when women get older, they get more like men. They get tougher. Yeah.
Well, I think they get more like focused on like
Guys get more sensitive, and women get like stronger.
If only there was a sweet spot where we all felt.
Thank you for those 2 super chats. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I really appreciate the love on them because I've been really enjoying those a lot. Guito Galindo, guys, best live stream ever. Great to hear.
It's been a lot. It's been chaos.
Good. My first comic book, Deadpool versus Wolverine collection.
Hell yeah. Makes me real happy.
Might do Camp Rock. In preparation for July 25th, am I doing it right?
Yes, you are. I'm excited for you, and apparently you're seeing it on Thursday. I'm jealous because I'm working.
By the way, those are the 2 shirts I want. Red RR rated is not available in the store. It's not? I need to fix that. What?
That's important to know. Check that store.
This is like my favorite shirt.
You should make it available.
This is honestly my favorite one
Make
to
it
wear.
available.
It's also very comfortable.
I love this one. Greg made fun of me because I was wearing it too much. He's like, "Oh, he's wearing that shirt." I was like, "I hear you."
Do movie reactions count as movie rewatches? They brushed past it in my Streamlabs. Did I? I'm gonna go back to there
We'll
before
go
we
back,
end. We'll
I
go back.
promise.
I won't forget that.
Get these 2 shirts. He's gonna make sure this one's available. I
Yeah.
know this one's available. I'm so happy you're reading comics, and I hate that the conversation around these movies and shows is that nobody reads the comics after them. That is not true. Every time I go in a comic store the week of a TV show or a movie dropping, that character is selling out. So it does work, and I'm very excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. And again, over on my page, I'm going to be doing recommendations specific to the characters in the movie, and I'll be giving comic recs. And I'm just, yes, thank you.
So good. All right. Just trying to make sure we're on track. Robert Preacher, Mephisto confirmed it. Hit Monkey season 2. The demand is coming.
Believe it when I see it, Mephisto. But
It's coming, man.
I'll do Hit. I've only watched the first 3 episodes of the first season, so I could do a rewatch.
And
of
it's
the
actually
first.
good. We didn't forget about you talked about Fantastic Four for a while.
We could talk about it. 60s
No.
multiverse.
There's not much information.
It's just a quote. It's just it's a confirmation of what was rumored.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Feige just said, like those things you've heard, they're true. If that helps.
That's why I mean the third thing to talk about.
I love that so much. Eric saw a sign out in the yard the other day that it said politicians are temporary, but Wu-Tang is forever. Yes, the Wu. That makes me so happy. Wu-Tang is forever, and Wu-Tang is for the children.
Nolo Lobo, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Yo, been a fan for a while. Love your authenticity.
Thanks.
Now, question time. What do you think of the idea that Pattinson plays DCU Batman and Reeves Batman as either Elseworld or just a tonal dichotomy, one of your favorite words, meant to clash? I think it is absolutely an Elseworlds Batman. Isn't it already established
Yeah,
that
he's
an
Elseworld,
Elseworlds
and he's
Batman?
not DCU.
Otherwise, they would have him just play the one in the Brave
In the
and
next
Bold.
Superman movie, yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't think they should. I think the beauty of the Matt Reeves universe is how real it feels, and there would be I personally think that you'd lose a lot of that David Fincher noirness if Superman exists. It makes no stakes for Penguin. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have a crime underbelly if a guy can fly in and laser you and fly out. And I know that's the comics, but I think they should do a more comic-y DCU Superman. Brave and the Bold can be comic-y. You bring in your Robins. I mean, not that Robin won't work in the Pattinson one, but you can do a lot more of the supernatural over-the-top characters in the DCU and keep the grounded stuff. It's cake and eat it too. Keep them separate.
Well, I think from reception of things, when Batman franchise, the 90s one, got carried away, people didn't like it. When Nolan comes back to make it more realistic and grounded, people loved it. And so I think Batman just kind of clicks better with audiences the more you ground him in a real world. So to have 2,
Everyone's happy.
I think is a great. Batman is that rare character where I'm like, I think it's perfect for him to have 2 different ones because he's one of the few. Like when you try to do when Batman Begins came out and everyone tried doing like let's reboot this and make it like Batman Begins. I'm like,
Dark and gritty.
Character doesn't really work that way.
It's Batman. It's Batman. That's why it works.
Like, because Batman is a human being. Like, that's why it works. He's not a superpowered individual. When you have a superpowered individual, it's automatically not going to be realistic at all because he's a superpowered individual. So
grounded, dark Superman. Well,
let's make a Fantastic Four. Let's make it super dark.
Yeah.
You know, and then like even the Man of Steel approach to a certain extent didn't fully jive well with audiences and trying to go for that. At first, you got to remember, like Man of Steel was not as beloved as it is now.
That 20-year thing, man.
So yeah, I think, but Batman, as we know, can totally exist in both universes. But the thing is, you have to commit to which one. So I think
commit to its own.
I think having two is totally acceptable.
People are asking in the live chat if we're going to react to Cape Crusader.
Yes, I would love to do that.
I'm very excited.
I would love to
that
do
show
that.
looks so good.
Yeah. Unless, of course, the first episode doesn't do well, then I'm going to can
Well, that's
it.
it, you know, because all you care
Chucky
about
fans.
is if yeah. We should actually label it a Cape Crusader reaction and put Chucky in it. Like make it a Chucky reaction with a Batman thumbnail.
AFL 2024. Hey, Greg and Coy. Question, is Sally still part of the crew? I know she lives in New York, but wondering if she's still be in any future content. She always says she's going to be moving back here, and Sally will always have a place here, undoubtedly. The thing is, like the Zoom collabs, we don't do them a lot because they're really tough. She doesn't really know the other people, and a big part of growing this in this direction has been allowing everyone to mishmash, you know? And like the last few movie reactions you've done have not been with myself or John.
Yeah.
You know, and a big part of that is growing that. And so focusing on this right now versus like Sally will only like film with me or film with John, you know? But I love Sally, I really do, and I hope she ever does come back here because she'll always have a place here.
I met her once; she was delightful.
Yeah,
totally randomly at a bar.
Yeah,
Remember
she's
that?
great. Oh yeah, you met her at a Star Wars thing.
Yeah, she was at Scum and Villainy one day,
Yeah.
and I just happened to be there. And she turned around, and she's like, "Are you Coy from Real
Yeah.
Rejects?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Sally." So she's delightful. It was just really funny. Like, what are the chances?
And I know Michael Tesler through Sally.
Ah, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Multiverse of Rejects, Reject Verse.
Yeah, Sally's amazing. Hit her up, man. I would love. I mean, I'm not saying we won't ever film with her again. Like, I'm not saying that, but I feel like one day it's just right now it's been difficult to plan. Eon Blush. Have you all seen the movie Chronicle? Reaction worthy? I have not seen Chronicle. Have you? I haven't seen Chronicle. Is it good?
I got history. Yeah, it's amazing. It's one of the best. Like,
Oh yeah, I actually know why. I know why you just said that. It suddenly hit me what you meant by that.
but yes, I think it's one of the best, not based on canon comic book movies. Like it's its own like kind of Elseworld thing, and it's a genius film. It's so good.
I really want to see it. I've heard really good things.
That's a
about it.
great reaction. Like that's really a quality film.
Bye, Christian Unpronounceable. And thanks, Bucky Barnes, for getting a She-Jack sweater to support those two ladies. RJ, because James Gunn gave Superman the trunks for the movie, do you think he'll also give Batman the trunks in his Brave and the Bold movie? I hope so.
Trunk it up.
I think if you're going to make him, don't make him look as dark and gritty as like the Pattinson one.
Yeah,
Go
like
for
have it be the comic gray and blue.
Yeah, that would be
Yellow.
awesome. I think he would go for that.
I think a yellow chess piece. First time
I
in a
think
long
the
time.
problem is James
Blue,
Gunn's
gray.
going to want to direct all these movies.
I mean, if he has the bandwidth,
He does not. You are directing one of these. Like,
he's also doing Peacemaker while not all of Peacemaker, but an episode of Peacemaker while Superman's in production, which is insane. When he was like, "I can't make it to Comic-Con," I'm like, "Good, don't try."
Like,
bro,
if we thought Kevin Feige, like he was like, "Oh, I could run the DCU because I have
Peter
Peter Safran," but I'm like, but now you have taken that time to direct movies and shows, so
you didn't make time
like,
for yourself.
Yeah, now you like this sounds even harder.
Yeah, by a lot. And shows whilst going with the movies is already insane. And then you're also like shaping universe and announcing stuff. It's crazy.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy.
Man. That being said, I wouldn't mind a Batman movie directed by him.
Well, I think Muschietti's still attached. Last I heard, Muschietti was still on it, but I don't know if that's still the case.
Buster Bonds. I think the masked figure is Ultraman, but will be more similar to Superior Man from Red Sun, who degrades into Bizarro. It looked like he was a part of a military unit. I don't feel like that's him.
Yeah, I think it's another character that's not a lot. It's not in a lot of comics. I'm curious how it goes, but I don't think we'd get to Bizarro yet. Well, and I think Red Sun would be a really fun Henry Cavill story. If we do an Elseworld, that'd be cool. But otherwise, I don't think that's happening yet.
But thank you, Buster Barnes. Can't play is all good. Coy, just curious. Thanks for answering.
He asked about the MonsterVerse. That's very kind, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Robert Pressure. as bad as the Catwoman movie is, this suit still. I mean, it's Halle Berry, man.
Yeah, it's
hard to make her look.
Exactly. Halle Berry doesn't look bad
She's rare.
often or ever.
She's a beautiful woman.
Quite.
Beautiful.
You ever
that
seen
movie's fun.
What's it called? Swordfish.
Yes.
She's so good in that. Like I think like Hugh Jackman went from just being Wolverine to being an actual movie star.
That was the first movie he did after X-Men,
yeah,
right?
but that showed he's not just Wolverine to me. Like I really like Swordfish. One of the first DVDs I owned.
Yeah. That's a cool opening scene too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys, watch Swordfish. Ramon Bridges, longtime watcher, first time super chatter. Thank you so much, man. I hear Ryan Gosling's going to be Ghost Rider, but I'm hoping it's false. What's the odds of Keanu or Reedus?
I think Norman Reedus is perfect. I know Ryan Gosling has said Ghost Rider, like that he would want to play him. But he has also said he doesn't want to do dark characters for his kids. And I think
is that why he's doing more comedies?
Yeah, he wants his kids like he doesn't want to be in a dark place mentally when he goes home.
Because I was weirdly
Do I know
thinking,
a Ryan Gosling thing that you don't know?
I was weirdly thinking about that recently. I'm like, I remember like when I fell in love with Ryan Gosling, it was all the
dark stuff,
all the dark, quiet, or even like dark comedy like Lars and the Real Girl.
Oh, I love that movie.
You know, and then lately he's just been like hardcore like
He's a happy
levity.
guy.
He's a hardcore levity
He
guy.
said he doesn't want to bring that darkness home, and he wants to stay in a better headspace.
It's insane how he managed to be this insanely
good at
great
both.
dramatic actor.
Yeah.
And then be this genius comic actor at the same time.
So I think Ghost Rider is going to be darker than they originally intended, like even 5 years ago.
Oh, so he probably won't team up anymore with his other directors, like the ones he did Place Me on the Pines and Blue Valentine with, and
Which
Nicholas
I
Winding
love.
Refn. Yeah. Oh, that's too bad.
Maybe when they're older, and maybe in like 10 years. But right now he's sticking to lighter stuff, and therefore I think the Ghost Rider movie should be R-rated.
That's why you can't have kids.
Yep, changes.
I'm not gonna let you cover this topic, Coy.
All right.
I'm just gonna rant about Ryan Gosling.
No, let's have it. There it is.
No.
But I think Midnight Suns is going to be R-rated, and I think the success of Deadpool is going to push things R-rated. So I think that Moon Knight and Midnight Suns and Ghost Rider, that World Blade, should all be R-rated. So I don't think he'd want that necessarily. Norman Reedus, however, good goddamn, what a perfect choice. So I think Keanu should be Silver Surfer, but I don't think it's happening.
Those are roles where I wouldn't mind seeing the celebrity in the role.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes you're like, oh no, all I see is this person. I'm like, I think in this case it's fine.
Yeah. Also, let's sell this weird skull flaming guy.
Yeah, I think it would work. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Ryan. The one Ryan Gosling movie I haven't seen that I've always wanted to see is the one he did with Terrence Malick. I've just heard terrible things about that
I haven't
movie.
seen it either, and I'm afraid
Just
to
sounds like
I love it.
sounds like a chore.
Yeah, and I love Malick and I love Gosling.
And there's a huge cast in there. It's like Michael Fassbender and Natalie Portman, like a huge cast.
I haven't seen it either, and I love both of them.
I was like, oh, I want to see this, but it sounds like tedious. Recalled. Hey, Coy and Greg, thank you, man. What do you guys think is the best superhero film? And what do you think is the best superhero film?
Superhero film. What is the best superhero film? Like, what's the best comic book movie or best movie based on comics? I think is the vibe.
All right, you answer first, and maybe I'll understand better.
Okay, the what's the best superhero film? As in, like a film that happens to feature superheroes, because the emphasis is on film. Film is in caps. I think actually I have the exact answer to this. I think the best film that features superheroes is The Dark Knight, and I think the best superhero film is Spider-Man: No Way Home. I think Spider-Man: No Way Home is super comic-y, and I think it involves a lot of like comic tropes, but I think it's a really good movie still. I think The Dark Knight is a great movie like Heat, but it happens to feature Batman and the Joker. So and Eckhart's Two-Face is very grounded and very like Michael Mann-esque, whereas like I consider No Way Home a superhero movie that I also happen to love. I think Winter Soldier would fall into the Dark Knight category, and then my number two for emphasis on superhero would probably be Guardians. Like those are my categories.
Okay, so for the category that you said for Dark Knight, just as I want to give a different answer.
Okay, like Dark Knight.
I would say
Logan.
Logan.
Yeah,
Logan would be mine for
yeah,
that.
that'd be my number three.
Like I think Logan is a better film than The Dark Knight.
Oh, Across the Spider-Verse
But I would
is up there too.
a million times
comic.
watch Dark Knight more.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
Dark Knight's just like that's like a summer blockbuster. See, kids, that's a summer blockbuster.
Why not? Hey, we had summer blockbusters 16 years ago.
First comic movie to break $1 billion. See,
It was an event. See,
I love that movie. I actually don't know. Maybe I'll take that back. If it's The Dark Knight better.
I'd say
I feel like when I'm watching it, I'm thinking that's the better film. That's what
But that's
happens.
what's so hard.
When I'm watching it, I'm thinking this is better.
if they're all 5 stars, like it's
Yeah. And then I think for the other camp, the one you put No Way Home in, I would put Infinity War in there.
okay.
I think Infinity War feels like the best. Like I'm one of the camp that prefers
I like
Endgame.
Infinity War more than Endgame.
I prefer Endgame over Infinity War, but
Oh.
I think Infinity War is a pretty much a near perfect like event. Like I'm not a big fan of a lot of those event comic books
Yeah.
that they do because it's just like a bunch of drawings of people punching each other. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think Infinity War manages to be that great culmination of all that. Like Endgame feels like the culmination of the MCU, and Infinity War feels more like a comic book crossover event.
I'm into that.
Yeah, so
like that.
I really like. I think Infinity War hits it perfectly.
I think comic-y, like superhero film, Across the Spider-Verse is up there. And then I think another film with superheroes is The Crow. I saw someone mention. I love The Crow.
Yeah, 2 people here just did a reaction to it. It's gonna have to wait till August.
Oh, really?
I'm like, oh, the new Crow is going till
Yeah.
August. I
So I gotta
gotta
hold
wait
that.
a while for this thing to really
Oh,
count.
Mr. Greg Business, wait until August. One more
Like,
month.
sorry, I wanted to perform. I wanted to get more of a reach
I
for
love
more
The
people
Crow.
to watch it.
Dude, that movie is so good.
It's Trey Davis. Do you think Larfleeze will ever show up in Lanterns? Thank you for the super chat.
Depending on the budget, also it's an Earthbound story, so I could see them doing a bit more grounded now and then ending up in space at the end, and then season 2 might be more cosmic. But I think
Yeah.
they're gonna save some of that for the greater film universe, and I think the show is gonna be pretty grounded.
Good to hear. Star-Lord, would you prefer Norton's Incredible Hulk or Ruffalo's MCU Hulk in Deadpool and Wolverine? Personally, I want that brutal Norton Hulk because, hell, yeah, I want Ruffalo in there. I want Ruffalo from Avengers. That's what I want.
Avengers 1,
Yeah,
a
that's
brutal
what I
Ruffalo, a
want.
brutal
Yeah.
that era. We could be the one that time traveled in Endgame, which they might do once he goes through the portal. I think it'll be Norton for the sake of us getting a moment to say goodbye to that character. But I could also see Ruffalo showing up as well because of Adam Project.
Yeah. Hey, the algorithm's always changing.
It'll change by the end of the
It's
stream.
Like in May, there was an algorithm change, and then we took a hit in views for the first couple of weeks, and I was like, all right, I have to be. I was like up for a week straight at night, just like I'm learning.
How do I?
How do I do it? Mark Lee's part of the job. Any reactions to Alien films for Romulus comes out? A couple people doing Independence Day tomorrow.
Ooh,
I was excited to learn that they had it.
so
didn't know
good.
it.
That's exciting. Oh, it is 4th of July weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, so I was like, might as well.
Nice.
And then Tuesday's a Mel movie. I'll tell Roxy to turn off the notification bells.
Just for the best.
Also, Koi, is Stargate SG-1 happening? Can get to the spin-off Stargate Atlantis with Jason Momoa.
That is so much TV.
We are not planning on going through the Star Trek.
That is
Stargate
so
Atlantis.
much TV, guys. I don't think I have time.
You would make my mom happy. She's seen all the Stargates. She's obsessed with the Stargates.
I'm sure it would do numbers, but man, that is a lot of sci-fi.
We don't know for sure, but
Well, it might do numbers.
yeah, it's a lot of Stargates.
It's a lot of Stargate, and I liked it. The movie was amazing. One of my favorite sci-fi universe films. Like it feels like it's a unique sci-fi world they built, but I don't know if I want to live in it for the next 2 years of.
Oh yeah, you'd
reactions.
be committed.
Yeah, that'd be a lifestyle.
It's Trey Davis. Thank you. Been watching since Roast of Ryan Wright. Classic love. I gotta do a video really talking about those Ryan Wright days one day. It's kind of weird. I've bounced
another
back,
man.
mofos. Joshua J. Gonzalez, Bostonian here, and cocksuckers, love you guys. Said to make sure Coy knew he's not alone. Y'all need to come out to Boston and do a live
Dude, that'd
here.
be so much fun. We talked about lives earlier in the summer, and now life's gotten
I'm
crazy.
trying to make one happen on my birthday, so I could just force all you guys to do it for my birthday.
Oh, that way he's like, oh, freebies.
Yeah, this is your present
Why
to
don't
me,
you guys show up for my birthday? Yeah, I think a live would be a lot of fun. I love live events. To be honest, like YouTube is just a gateway to lives for me. I like the live part of it, so I would love that. Maybe one day.
Appreciate it, Mark. Appreciate you trying, buddy. Robert Pursuer, Eric Bana's Hulk came out in 2003, 20 years later, D3. It could very well be that one. And I think the love for Eric Bana has definitely come around. I even saw a great video from High Top Films talking about how that film is underrated. And just putting it into the light that I had never seen before was great. He's like, points out flaws with it for sure. But it made me want to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I haven't seen that Hulk in forever. I'd almost be like a reaction because I don't remember it.
First movie I saw at AMC Burbank 16.
No way. That's awesome.
The final super chat of the day. Spidey Sensei 72. I don't have a question. I'm just donating to the Koi's wedding fund. Good luck and congrats.
Thanks, man.
Thank
I actually
you
might
so
do a, I
much,
might do a
Spidey
wedding
Sensei.
live stream because that would be fun to like.
Oh God, dude, don't do that.
Why?
Just it's a private moment.
No, not of the wedding. I mean, like a live stream to get money for the wedding. Like, I'm not sharing
Oh,
my
I
wedding.
thought you were like,
oh
yeah.
God, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm saying I might do like we're trying to buy a house, like a wedding, like honeypot or live stream, not of the wedding. But if I can get Zanye to like be on a live stream, ask questions for her to be
cool.
crazy. But yeah, not of my wedding. That's insane.
Isn't this a great image that we're looking
Look at
at?
that.
guys?
Look at that pixelated chin and tiny photo right there.
The last thing I don't want to forget about this is the Ahsoka 2 information. They're going to replace Ray Stevenson.
Did they say who?
I don't know who they're replacing him with.
Gerard
but
Butler.
I think it is an okay call to do that because at the end of the day, it is a character, and he was a new character established for that show. And they very much left him off with more story to tell. It's going to be very important. So I don't think it's the same situation of an impact in the way how it was with Chadwick Boseman. I don't put them in in the same category. Let's face it, one is way more iconic than the other, and one reached masses in a very different emotional impact way than the other. So no, we turn off the super chats. We're about to end, Cyber Michael. So yeah,
There was a letterbox question. Did we miss that?
from who?
Gamer MJ said. You guys remember
Oh
my
yeah,
Letterboxd question?
yeah. Okay,
Got you,
that's
Gamer
That's
MJ.
the last one. Let me what is the link here?
Is it on Letterboxd?
It's a letterbox question or it's here? I thought it was here. Oh, yeah. Would you guys consider watching movie reactions as movie watches? I need to know for my letterbox account. That's what he's asking.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, we're starting to do that in a way of like if one person hasn't seen it and if the other person has because I always thought people wouldn't want that. But I'm seeing a lot of reaction channels that actually do that. I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine.
We will also eventually run out of big movies.
Yes, and so much of the time a lot of times I've seen movies like 2 or 3 times, but then enough years go by and I'm like, I don't remember this at all.
Brand new.
Yeah. So yeah, I like some stuff is familiar, but so much of it is not, and I like seeing things in different Like I had Tara and Aaron watch Armageddon, and I'm excited to work on that video because I'm like, I loved that when I was a kid.
I hate that movie.
I know you hate it, but everyone hates that movie, so I want to see if I still like it.
It invalidates the Criterion Collection. It's so bad, it eliminates the prestige of a whole collection. It's literally the lamer Abyss, and I just watched The Abyss. Like, it is, I had no loyalty to The Abyss, and then watching The Abyss, I was like, oh, not only is Armageddon bad, it's a remake of a better film. It's garbage. That said, I would love to do more of those because it's really funny to me that people are always like, there's no way they haven't seen these. When there's 8 of us, and statistically speaking, like the other 6 might have seen it if we were the 2 chosen. There's so many movies we authentically haven't seen, like just because time. But I'm really excited for some movies that I haven't seen in 20 years because that opens up a lot of doors.
Absolutely. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. First live stream back in a while. Probably not next week, but
Yeah. 4th
yeah.
of July weekend is going to be.
It's gonna be tough. I'm having a hard time. Like, I'm not even really asking people to come in on July 5th because it's on Thursday, July 4th. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird to be
And
like,
Friday,
go
like,
party. Now
come back
in
hungover.
tomorrow.
Be on camera with bags under your
Yeah.
eyes, a little nauseous.
Yeah. So we're going to for a time. We'll find time.
Yeah.
We
Before
gotta
Comic-Con.
do like when's Boys? July 18th.
Yeah.
We should do a Boys live stream.
That'd be fun.
Sure. Yeah, that would be a great one.
That'd be a lot of fun. I'd like that.
We should probably get John in here because that would be disappointing to not have John here.
Or we just react
Watch
to the
all
whole
3
show
and just
and then-
leave out John. Yeah.
Not the move. But that weekend is also the week before Comic-Con, so we can talk about Comic-Con theories and stuff too. That'd be a big weekend.
Oh yeah.
Also, if there's any other day of the week besides Saturday, because we struggle on Saturdays, let us know.
I mean, it might not be them who decides. We might just have to
Try a day.
throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks.
That's very not algorithm of you, Greg. That's real. Sounds not businessy.
Sometimes that is algorithmically the way you got to do things. Is
See
just
what
go,
happens.
let's see how this goes. Give it a shot. I do that several times a month. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. On your way out, if you could leave a like on this stream, that'd be very much appreciated. And hope you guys have a safe rest of your weekend. And thanks for all the support, guys. We'll see you all soon. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.